Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be for the monthly movie preview. And as you guys can see, we are no longer on Skype. We have made the jump over to StreamYard because that's what all the cool kids are doing these days. And of course, we're going to be talking about all the movies that are coming out in November. I can't believe we're already here. We only have 2 months left of 2019, which is crazy. But November looks like a packed month. And since it's a packed month, we also got a full house here. We got 3 people here that really annoy me. And I really wish I didn't get them all on at the same time because I'm kind of scared of what's going to happen. But we'll just get started. First of all, he's really annoying. He's very loud. He's currently flipping me off and dancing, and I don't really know why he's doing this. But first off, we have 22TigerDude,
also known as Bigfoot. What's up?
What the
fuck? So yes, hello there, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. This is 22TigerDude here, your favorite Tiger Dude around, and it is a pleasure to be here on November movie preview. I was here 2 years ago for November movie preview. That was legendary. Yeah, hopefully this one will be almost as legendary as that one. I don't know if it'll be quite on par, but we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, thank you, Kevin. Even though I know you're regretting this already, thank you for having me on.
Don't remind me of that. But also here is the person who doesn't want to get off his fucking phone for some reason because he's annoying as fuck. Here he is, Jackson Fulcher.
14 signs you might be in a toxic relationship. Thanks, Snapchat. What's up, Kevin? What? What did you say my name for? What are we doing? What is this?
I'm introducing you.
Introducing me for what exactly?
I'm introducing you for the movie preview.
Oh, is that today?
Yeah, that's today.
Wow, thanks for reminding me. Not.
Yeah. Even though you've been
here. As in you did not remind me.
Even though you've been here for like a solid 40 minutes.
All right. Hey, my name's Jackson, and I was forced to do this, like most things I do with Kevin.
All right. And also here, I don't know who this person is, but they just randomly joined. I guess you can just, I'm not entirely sure how StreamYard works. We're still trying to figure out the kinks of it all. So I guess some random person just joined. I'm not sure who it is, but he's known as he or she or they is known as the Duck.
Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and
and that's enough of that. All right,
jerk.
In all seriousness, guys, it is your least favorite and mine. Who, he's annoying as hell, and he's so annoying he didn't even want to go under his real name. Here he is, Andrew Hayes. Andrew.
What?
Yes.
Well, why? Don't yell at me. All right. Listen.
You gotta speak.
I am speaking, motherfucker.
All right.
So you guys know me, the baddest motherfucker on the planet, Mike
Damn
Tyson.
Right.
I don't know about that.
No, my name's not actually Mike Tyson. It's your boy Andrew Hayes. Holler if you hear me.
Holler.
Holler.
All right, so before this fiasco starts, we're going to get right into the movies. Like I said, November is a very packed month. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I'm very excited for, but not this first film. This first film is one that it's coming out, and it's a thing. It should be a big film, but it's not really, and that is the 20 millionth attempt at trying to reinvigorate this franchise known as Terminator Dark Fate.
I know you're scared, but I'm here to protect you.
Never seen one like you before. Almost human.
I am human, just enhanced. Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
All right, so so Terminator Dark Fate, initially I was actually interested in this film. I thought that it actually could have been something really interesting. Maybe it could have reinvigorated the franchise really well. I like the fact that Lyndall Hamilton was on board and things like that. I like the more like smaller scale feel of it all. I love Mackenzie Davis. I'm glad to see Arnold Schwarzenegger come back, of course. But honestly, like at first I was into it. You know, I like the teaser that came out and things like that, especially that song that I know Jackson just loves to hear every single time he goes to the movies.
I'm going hunting.
Yeah, that one. That one's a classic. But yeah, so initially I was excited for it. And then, you know, as it went on, I've just become very indifferent to this film. I'm not dreading it. I'm not like against it or anything. It's coming out. It exists. And I guess I'll see it. I mean, I'm not really sure. This looks like such a whatever movie to me. On one hand, there are some things here that I think could be really interesting. I like the idea that Sarah Connor is now like this, you know, like a bounty hunter and things like that. And she's like, you know, far more equipped to like go after the Terminators and all that kind of stuff. And she's trying to protect like this girl, I think, and how this girl is kind of like in Sarah Connor's position in the first movie. I think that could actually be really interesting. I like the idea that Arnold's back, but I keep getting worried that this is going to be yet another failed attempt. This is the third time that they have tried to bring this franchise back. And, you know, they say third time's the charm, but at the same time, I mean, Salvation was terrible. Genesis wasn't very good either. So I'm just not that hopeful here. I want to believe that this is going to be that comeback film. I want to believe this is going to be the film that turns this franchise back around, but I'm just not very confident in it. I really wish I was. I like the cast here. I like the ideas, but overall, it just seems very generic. It also doesn't help that the CGI just really doesn't look that great here, especially on Gabriel Luna for sure. It really doesn't look that great. I've also heard very strange reports about what they're doing with Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. Apparently, he is like fully human now. He's going to be like settled down with like a wife and things like that. Which doesn't make any sense considering he died in like the second movie, but whatever. I guess we'll see what they end up doing there. But yeah, either way, looks fine. I was into it at first, but over time, just who cares? I'm going hunting.
You better shut your.
All right, Andrew, what do you or the Duck? What do you want to say about this one?
All right, so this is how I feel about this movie, or how I feel about this movie coming out. It looks like trash. No, Jenny Smith was not. Neither was Salvation. Neither was Rise of the Machine. They really should have just stopped at the second one.
Yeah,
that would have just made life so much. But you know, they had to keep on making them. The effects in this look like trash, and it's just I'm honestly got this movie because you know time is valuable, and why waste my time?
All right, Jackson.
So, I haven't been really all that excited for Terminator Dark Fate. Even when they announced that Tim Miller was coming in, I was a little bit like, all right, but like whatever. We've seen so many attempts at new Terminators, Rise of the Machine, Salvation, and Genesis. Like, just because James Cameron is producing, like, what is that really going to change? And, you know, teaser came out. I wasn't really excited for it, despite the fact they were trying to promote a darker tone. Then the new trailer came out, and I was like, okay, maybe because a lot of people were jazzed up about it during Comic-Con, maybe there will be something to get excited about here. And it made the movie look even worse. The action sequences so far seem to be just big visual clusters, awful CG clusters, so I'm not excited for that. A lot of the dialogue seems really awful. Even the I'll be back line this time around is so it's so obvious that it's just like we think this is a clever catchphrase, so now let's have Linda Hamilton say it as boring as possible. And not even when she's about to do something cool, she's just walking as an explosion happens underneath the bridge she's on. I'm not excited for this movie. Hopefully, maybe it can be better than what the trailers are letting on, but I'm really not into seeing this. I think it looks like garbage, to be honest, which kind of sucks because Tim Miller did a good job with Deadpool. And I was hoping for the best, but I unfortunately think this is going to be another dull hit for Terminator, bitch.
All right, Tony.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I actually have the same reaction as Kevin. At first, I was like, you know what? Doesn't need to happen, but I'm kind of down for the idea. The teaser trailer sold me. I do like that teaser trailer with that I'm going hunting. I dig it.
I just like it because it annoys me. Actually.
Stop it. Wow, that's beautiful.
I'm going hunting.
Okay, Kevin. Okay, Kevin.
Be quiet,
okay,
Kevin.
that was not good.
That wasn't even close, Andrew. That wasn't.
Andrew did a better job than you, Kevin.
Shut stupid.
Yeah, Kevin.
But yes, at first I was kind of into it, but then, the full trailers have come out and, I'm not draining or anything, but I'm kind of like Kevin. I'm kind of like on the whatever side with it now, sadly. Visually, it doesn't look very good, sadly. And, some of the dialogue, like the forced I'll be back by Linda Hamilton. By the way, when I went to go see Rambo Last Blood, when Linda Hamilton said that line, there were a couple people from me going, oh, like they actually groaned. It was kind of funny.
It shows how people feel about the Terminator franchise.
Yeah, pretty much. My audience at Rambo Last Blood basically spoke right there.
Yep.
But yes, it's cool that Linda Hamilton is coming back. Sadly, I don't think she looks very good in this movie, but I hope she surprises me. Very happy about Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously coming back because you kind of need him, even though like what you guys said doesn't really make sense because he died at the end of Judgment Day, and this is supposed to pick up where Judgment Day ended, so I guess we'll see where that happens. And it's cool that James Cameron is coming back, but he's just really producing. Is he involved with the story in any way?
No, he's not.
Okay, then yeah, it's cool he's producing, but it's one of those we'll see. I hope for the best with it. I hope it's good, but for right now, I am kind of whatever. I started out being really positive about it, but as time went on, I'm just whatever. Let's just see what happens, and I hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much. So, needless to say, we're all just kind of whatever about this movie. It comes out November 1st. I guess look forward to it. Go see it on Halloween night because that's a great time to release it for sure. Knock Dr. Sleep. Go see Terminator Dark Fate on Halloween night like Jackson will here, even though I know he's very excited for it. And it all together now just to piss him off. I'm going hunting. So, also coming out on November 1st is yet another movie that I wish I was more excited about, but I'm not the one introducing it. Mr. The Duck here is...
Listen, you know how long it took me to convince Kevin to introduce highly anticipating, Motherless Brooklyn.
Frank Minna, Private Eye.
Boys.
Frankly, Franco. He's the one who taught me how to use my head, turn it into a strength. He gave me a place in this crappy world until I screwed up.
Frank!
Brooklyn, she's in trouble now.
Ooh.
Does anybody know what Frank was into on this?
There's something going down, and it's big, and they were not happy about what he found.
We find who did this, and we square accounts.
If I figure it out, I'm gonna make him regret it. I promise you that.
Edward Norton gonna direct it. Doesn't look boring at all. Totally doesn't look like it's gonna put me to sleep. Totally Oscar bait.
Nah.
But Motherless. I don't know if it's the directorial debut of Edward. Definitely know that he's.
I think it is
Directing it.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Shut the
So
fuck
it is
up.
the directorial debut
Don't sound like
of Edward Norton, and it's this looks all right. I mean, and it doesn't look like it's terrible. It looks like like it's just not going to be good. It's something that Terminator.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Oh, what the hell was that?
I clicked on fucking Ryan's comment, and I didn't realize if you click show, it shows it on the screen.
All right, let's not do that then.
Good job, Kevin.
I thought it just meant it would show it to you guys.
Let Andrew talk.
All right, Andrew, go ahead. You got to start over.
Let the duck. Yeah, let the duck talk, bitch.
That was fucking funny.
So, yeah. It also stars Bruce Willis, who probably is just in this for the money, like he is in nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And also another thing, the trailer, in my opinion, feels like it gives away too much. I feel like
Oh yeah, for sure.
I probably have seen the movie by just watching the trailers. I don't know. I'm good, but I don't know. It just doesn't look like something that's all that exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you, honestly. I was looking forward to Motherless Brooklyn at first, just knowing that it was Edward Norton's like directorial debut and things like that. Jackson, shut the fuck up. I was looking forward to it at first, even though you guys can't see what he's doing right now. He is mimicking me, and I don't appreciate it. I will not take this slander in this live stream, but regardless, I was initially looking forward to Motherless Brooklyn at first. It was definitely something that I thought could have been really good for sure. And, knowing that like it was Edward Norton's like directorial debut and things like that, that definitely had me interested. And, honestly, like seeing seeing the trailer, it really did get me feeling pretty unenthused about it. I feel significantly colder towards this film than I did before the trailer came out. Look, the cast is stacked here. There's no denying that. Of course, Edward Norton, also Bruce Willis, Willem Dafoe, who I'm hearing people say could get some Oscar potential, Alec Baldwin, Bobby Cannavale, really great cast overall. It's just the story itself just seems so generic. We've seen this done 1,000 times before. It doesn't really seem like it's going to be doing anything particularly different. I like the idea that like Edward Norton is playing this man with like Tourette's syndrome and things like that. And it seems like he's going to give a really good performance. Like I think if all else fails, which I kind of feel like that might be the case, I do think Edward Norton is probably going to be the best thing about this movie because he does actually look really good here. But aside from that, you take away that, it really just looks like a very generic mystery. It really doesn't seem like it's going to do much of anything for me. It does seem very Oscar baity in that way. And I hate saying that because I love the fact that Edward Norton is trying to, I love the fact that Edward Norton is trying to tread new ground here. He is trying to, direct something and things like that. I really do appreciate that for sure. I appreciate just as much as I appreciate whatever the fuck Jackson is doing right now. Almost as much as that. But either way, Motherless Brooklyn, similar to Terminator Dark Fate, I don't really care about this movie. It's coming out, I'll see it, and whatever. I wish I was more excited because, like I said, if you were to talk to me, I would, a few months ago before this trailer was out, I probably would be looking forward to it. But now I really could care less. But Tony.
I am the opposite. I am very much looking forward to this movie. Really excited about it, actually. I even did put in my honorable mentions when we did the anticipated video over on my channel, which you could check out. But no, yeah, I think it looks really interesting, to be honest, and I'm very excited to see Edward Norton not only direct but write. He is writing this movie too. Yep. And like you already mentioned, we have a stacked cast here from him to Bruce Willis, who I'm going to predict is not even going to have a major role in this one.
No, he's going to be there for probably like 30 minutes at most.
Yeah. And then, Willem Dafoe, Alec Baldwin, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, the list goes on and on. And it's like what Kevin said. I think the idea of Edward Norton playing this private detective with Tourette's syndrome, like I really like that. And Edward Norton already looks like he's going to give a really good performance. And I do like the setting of the movie too. I do think the setting overall looks really nice. So yeah, personally for me, I'm really excited for Motherless Brooklyn.
All right, and now we go to the person that I really don't want to have to go over to because he was annoying me, but again, he kept fucking making fun of me. But Jackson, what do you want to
say? Yeah, got him. So Motherless Brooklyn. I had always heard like rumors of like Edward Norton's like a crazy control freak, that he's like a perfectionist with everything. He tries to control everything. So the fact that he was making this movie is like, oh, perfect. He can literally control everything now and get paid for it. Great, wonderful. But this movie just looks very less than stellar to me. I mean, I think just the way the trailer's like making the story out to be, it just seems very generic. Like there's some corruption going on and some behind the scenes stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, there's some mystery, like Gugu and Bathral's like, what do I not know? And Edward Norton's like, I can't tell you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, whatever, man. Like, it's got a lot of great actors in it, obviously, but like, you hear, and out of context, like when they say these lines, you're kind of thinking like, oh, this could be like some real award stuff. But like, honestly, I feel like I'm worried that this movie's going to be like, as soon as you watch the movie in full, everything's drastically boring and dull, and that's my biggest fear. Also, I'm not that excited to see Ed Norton act in this movie. Every time, it wasn't for the most part, but every time he'd have to do the picking at his shirt, or when he starts saying stuff at the top of his head because he can't control it, I honestly felt kind of embarrassed watching him do it. I thought it was really hokey, kind of laughable, which shouldn't really be what I'm getting at when seeing a character like this, but it just seemed like that's how Edward Norton wanted to do it, and he directed himself, so this is what he wants. But I just kind of felt kind of uncomfortable watching him do it. Something about him doing it just made my skin crawl a bit. So not looking forward to this movie that much. Maybe it could be good. Maybe just out of context, this trailer just makes the movie look more boring than it is. Maybe it's fantastic. Maybe Edward Norton is actually great, and it's just out of context. It just seems really weird. I don't know, but I just don't care. That's it. That's the video. Just shut up.
Yeah. So either way, Motherless Brooklyn, another film that none of us really care about unless you're Tony over here. But
I was right about to correct you there for a second. So
yeah. So oh my God. But if you're looking forward to Motherless Brooklyn, it does come out on November 1st. Definitely, hoping that it's really good for sure. Now we get to the film, the only film coming out November 1st that I actually do slightly care about, that I do actually think has some potential for sure, that Jackson here is going to introduce if he stops fucking making fun of me.
Yeah, the movie that I'm going to be introducing, now that I'm done making fun of Kevin Flake, is Harriet!
You are welcome here anytime. If I'm free, my family should be too. I made up my mind, I'm going back. You're confident, composed. When trouble comes, you'll be ready.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
So Harriet is the movie that is coming out based on Harriet Tubman, obviously, played by Cynthia Erivo, who was in Bad Times at the El Royale, a standout in that film. And this trailer obviously makes it seem like it's going to be a very important awards contender. And Cynthia Erivo will probably get a lot of buzz. I'm not sure, because that's the thing, is like, I think a lot of people like to talk about it every year, but this year in particular, it seems like it's going to be pretty stacked as far as who's going to make it actress wise. But Cynthia Erivo could be one of the people that's up for Best Actress because of this film. A lot of people are saying she does a fantastic job, and a lot of people, I guess just me personally, I haven't picked out any reviews that have said it's like marvelous, fantastic, but I've heard things that say this movie is good. So I do think it might actually get some award, at least some awards acknowledgement for Cynthia Erivo, at least. So I think that's the thing I'm most excited about for this movie. And I am interested to see it overall, just as far as this month in particular. I wouldn't say it's like one of my most anticipated, because I'm really only just excited to see what Cynthia Erivo does with this kind of role, because Harriet Tubman is someone I always heard about in school, like for many years now, and finally seeing an actress that I really loved in a movie, or in a movie that I really love, Bad Times at the El Royale. Hold on. Yeah, she's fuck you, StreamYard. Yeah, she's right there. Fuck. Yeah, I'm really excited to see her play this role. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Fuck Kevin.
All right, so Harriet overall, this is the only film coming out on November 1st that I really am looking forward to. I do actually think this film definitely does have potential for sure. Harriet Tubman is a figure that we all know who she is, but I think it's a little. I think the most surprising element is that we are just now getting a film about her. She's such a well-known historical figure and such an icon in that way. You would think there's already been a film portrayed about her life, but no, there isn't. This is the first film about her, and I'm glad that she finally does have a film that's coming out about her, because I think she is a very fascinating figure in that way. And I think Cynthia Erivo is definitely very well casted here. I adored her in Bad Times at Royale. I've adored her since like when she was in Broadway for The Color Purple. So I think she definitely is going to do some really great work here. I love Janelle Monáe as well. I think she's going to give a really great performance. Leslie Odom Jr. Someone else I can't think of is in here as well, but really great cast for the most part. Definitely, I really do like pretty much everyone that's in here, and I'm just hoping it's a really interesting film. I'm hoping it's not Oscar baity. I'm hoping that this overall is something that definitely does pique my interest for sure. I think it could be something really good. And yeah, so out of all the films coming out November 1st, like I said, this is really the one that I think has the most, I'm talking strictly theatrical. This is the one I think has the most potential for sure. But what do you think, Tony?
I can't wait for Harriet the Spy. This is definitely something different for this remake, but you know.
And that's enough of that.
No, get him back! No!
Why would you do that to Tony?
All right, let's see what he actually thinks about it.
Wow.
All right. In all seriousness, though, yes, I think Harriet looks really interesting. You know, on Harriet Tubman. I'm surprised. I don't think a movie like this has been done about her before. If I'm not
literally
mistaken.
just said that.
Well, Kevin.
I literally just said that.
Well, Kevin, I was gonna say it's kind of hard to listen to you after a while.
Wow!
But yes, I am very interested to see how the story is told on this very important figure right here. You know what she has done is honestly very fascinating. And I think the trailer, you know, from how it's edited and all that, it looks like it could be something very interesting, like what you guys have already said, something very important. And I definitely hope that's the case. You know, obviously we have a great cast here, but like what you all said, I'm definitely very interested the most to see how Cynthia Erivo could portray Harriet Tubman. And she already looks like she's going to be really good based on the trailers. And I have no doubt in my mind, even if the movie's not good, even if it's like boring, which I hope it's not the case. I hope it's not a boring movie, but even if it is a boring movie, I'm pretty sure she'll be at least a standout of the movie. So yeah, I think it could be at least something very solid, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Andrew.
All right, here we go. You know, Harriet. You know, Harriet Tubman is a important figure in history. I think it's pretty crazy how we haven't gotten a movie about Harriet Tubman up until now. Like honestly, I think that's pretty crazy. And you know, I think Cynthia Erivo looks like, you know, perfect casting for Harriet Tubman. I'm pretty sure, like, even if the movie isn't that good or whatever, like she's easily gonna be, you know, fantastic in the role. I liked her a lot in Bad Times at the El Royale. I think she was one of the best parts about that, and that, in my opinion, is saying a lot because, you know, that has such a stacked cast. Yep. And, you know, the fact that she was able to, you know, kind of steal the show says a lot about her, you know, talent. So, you know, I'm optimistic about this film. I do think it does have potential to be a big awards contender, especially with Cynthia Erivo. Oh, yeah. But it kind of does look like Oscar bait to me. That's just me, though, but I'm hoping for the best.
All right, so Harriet, if you are looking forward to it, it does come out on November 1st. Really hoping that it is a very good film for sure. But now we switch gears entirely to a film that could potentially be the best film of the week, to some film that for some reason is coming out in theaters. I have no idea why, but Tony here is the absolute pleasure of introducing this highly anticipated film.
Yep. And before I do introduce it, I just want to
slippers. Jesus Christ!
Yo, shut up and let it talk.
Hey! I love my Chewbacca slippers, my Bigfoot slippers.
They're sexy as fuck.
This is why you're the man. But yes, I gotta go to the Arctic to see some dogs now. So see you all later.
Oh my God!
And the movie is Arctic Dogs, not Arctic like that trailer Kevin got.
Oh, don't remind that was so fucking awkward. Don't remind me of that.
Arctic Dogs.
I'm going hunting.
Wrong movie.
You are a small Arctic fox who was not meant to pull a giant sled with packages on it. The only thing I'll be remembered for now is not being memorable, like that other guy. One guy.
Exactly. So, who's gonna be a good boy? Who's gonna be top down?
Hey, Swifty. Please deliver this package for me.
Are you sure about this?
What's the worst that could happen?
Are you crazy?
Crazy like a fox.
All right. So,
already exhausted that joke.
So honestly, when it comes to Arctic Dogs, I have to say this movie looks spectacular. I think it's easily going to be the best anime movie of the year. I think it's going to wipe its ass with Frozen 2. Like Frozen 2 is going to look like shit compared to this one. No. In all honesty, yeah, this movie. I love that face right there, Kevin. No, yeah, this movie looks like fucking shit. Like every time I have to sit through this trailer for every children's film I see in the theater, it's unwatchable. Like literally, it's one of those movies where every time I have to sit through it, I'm literally on my phone, like reading what the guys are saying in the group chat and all that, because I'm like, I'd rather just read than to sit through this piece of shit trailer. It's so unwatchable. I'm glad it's finally coming out, so I don't have to sit through that goddamn trailer again. That's the only reason I'm happy it's coming out. But aside from that, yes, you have a great cast, but what is a cast this talented doing in a movie like this? Like, I just don't understand it. The story looks really generic. The animation looks like absolute crap. Looks like something like, it looks almost like Norm of the North's like animation.
It does.
And yeah, I do not want to see it. Like Alec Baldwin, Jeremy Renner, everyone else. What the hell are you doing in this movie? I will never know. But yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, so this is a film that I'm surprised is honestly coming to theaters. I remember this was supposed to come out, I believe, in January of like last year or something like that. And it had like a different, it was called like Arctic Justice Thunder Squad. I was like, what the fuck is this movie? And I will say Arctic Dogs is definitely a better title for sure. It's not nearly as intriguing of a title, but yeah, I don't know how this is a major release. Like, I thought for sure this was going to be one of those films that's like Duck, Duck, Goose, where it's like dumped onto Netflix or something like that. But no, instead what we have is a film that I'm just baffled by the fact that it's coming out. But this just looks so unbearable. The animation looks like absolute ass. The humor looks terrible. It just seems like everything that I hate when it comes to anime movies. And this has not been a very strong year at all. And this very much seems like it's going to continue that streak, unfortunately. Maybe be the worst of the bunch. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if someone can be worse than Ugly Dolls, but if this can, God help me. But like Tony said, the one thing that is the most peculiar thing about this movie is that you would think for a film like this, it would have a very like unknown cast. Like maybe it'd have like one recognizable star and then everyone else is like a bunch of unknowns. No, this movie is like a stacked cast. Like you have Jeremy Renner, you have Heidi Klum, James Franco, Alec Baldwin, Angelica Houston. Like, how the fuck did they get this stacked of a cast for a film that looks this terrible? I really don't know how. But either way, yeah, this looks probably like one of the worst films of the year. Similar to Tony, every single time this trailer comes on, it's just completely unbearable. I'm on my phone. I'm trying to multitask. It's the kind of film that I'm definitely going to wait for when it comes. Like, I don't like waiting for movies, but there's so many movies coming out on November 1st. I probably will just end up waiting for this one till like later in the year. I'll definitely watch it before the year is up, but I am definitely dreading this one for sure. This looks pretty unbearable, to be honest. But Andrew.
I'm not Andrew, I'm the duck.
Oh, okay. Duck. Even though I think there's a duck in this movie, actually. Well, it probably is a duck in this movie. So
listen,
from one duck to another.
One duck. All right, listen. This movie actually looks like garbage, and I tend to not see animated movies that look this terrible, unless it is something like Duck, Duck, Goose, which had all the promise in the world, but it was so bad.
It did.
Jesus Christ! I'll never get over how upset I am about that film.
That was not a good movie.
But yeah, no, I mean, I saw the trailer for the first time today, actually, and it looks just as bad as I thought it would look. I can't wait for Kevin to complain about seeing this, and when he could be spending valuable time watching Breaking Bad.
Well, for all you know, I could be watching Breaking Bad right now.
I know you're watching Breaking Bad right now.
I am watching it right now, actually.
like you're like, oh, when I watch Breaking Bad, I'm not gonna tell you. Just like how you did with me with The Leftovers. Literally, motherfucker, 2 days later, you announce to the whole fucking world that you're watching Breaking Bad.
Well, because you have been on my ass about it, so.
Wow. What racism?
Jackson, go ahead.
Oh, hey. So I was really, I was watching the trailer for this movie back in the day when the trailer first came out, and honestly, I'm really excited for it because you know you have Jeremy Renner in this film, and I'm really excited to see the storyline where he gets upset that his wife has custody of their daughter, so he tries to threaten shooting her and then killing himself.
I think Jackson just came up with a really good theory. Maybe this whole trailer is just a distraction of what the movie actually is. Maybe the whole thing is just watching Jeremy Renner and his wife fight for custody. Maybe that's what this actually is going to be about.
Maybe there's more layers to it than what the trailer.
Yeah. Arctic Dog. That's just the movie they're watching on like the television screens. This is really going to be a very hard, just very heavy drama. That's really what this is going to be.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it looks like garbage. Animation looks terrible. I don't know. I think the reason they have such a cast like this, like maybe they locked down one big name actor here. Like maybe they got I don't know, Jeremy Renner first because he was looking for a movie to make for his daughter, and everyone was like, "Oh, Jeremy Renner's involved. Maybe it'll be a good movie." And then man, they got tricked instantly. It looks terrible. The jokes aren't funny. The planet made a poopy.
Oh my god.
And I can't wait. You know, I hope Jeremy Renner gets to enjoy it with his daughter since he's currently alive.
Allegedly.
Oh my god, that's really a good joke.
All right. Well, after that, very, very terrible joke that wasn't off color at all, and totally isn't going.
You're off color, bitch.
Totally isn't going to get me Jackson canceled off of YouTube if he isn't already. But Arctic Dogs, if you're looking forward to it, it comes on November 1st. I guess look forward to it. I don't know why it's coming out, but whatever. So. That's all the like major release, but we still have a couple films coming out November 1st. This next one is one that I didn't really know a ton about, but it is one that is coming out, and that is Paradise Hills.
What is this place?
This is an opportunity, Uma. If you could learn your place, you have your best years ahead of you.
Our family sent us here to shape us in their image.
Paradise Hills overall, I didn't really know what this was. I saw the cast. I thought it looked really weird.
I'm actually dying right now. I didn't mean to do this.
Andrew, live.
Okay. I actually apologize about that.
Can I speak?
That was an accident, right, motherfucker?
All right. Well. Okay, so Paradise Hills overall, this was one that I really didn't know too much about, but I finally saw the trailer for it, and yeah, this looks different for sure. I'm not entirely sure if I'm looking forward to this or if it just looks really weird, but I'm definitely intrigued. I think the premise of this is definitely interesting, where like you have this girl and like she wakes up on this island and like you know, there's like this fairy tale like exterior, but there's like something else going on as well. I think that could be a really interesting concept. I do like the cast here. For the most part, sans Mila Jovovich. But other than her, I do like the cast here overall. I think Emma Roberts is really great. Awkwafina, you know, Isaac Gonzalez, Danielle McDonald, Jeremy Irvine. I mean, really good cast overall. I really do like the aesthetic here. I think aesthetically this film could be really good for sure. And I think that's potential. I'm not like hyped on my mind or anything, but it definitely has potential for sure. So now we're going to turn to the guy who keeps fucking dying, the Duck.
All right, listen. I actually didn't know this movie was a thing until about, I don't know, 5:30 today. Not gonna lie. But I mean, I kind of have conflicting thoughts on the trailer.
Yeah.
It kind of see. There are some like points of the trailer where I go, "Wow, this actually looks like it could be a very interesting movie, a very good movie." Very interesting concept, but then there are points where I go, I don't know. It kind of feels like it could be too weird. It kind of looks like it's just not going to be a good movie. So I'm kind of very mixed on what I saw with the trailer. And I mean, usually, I mean, trailers have fooled us in the past. I mean, how many times have at least I've seen a trailer this year where I'm all, this is going to be hot garbage, and they end up getting good reviews. Like, for me at least, Ready or Not and Hustlers. Like, I thought those were going to be bad, but those ended up getting like really good reviews.
Yeah.
So I'm optimistic, I guess. Again, literally today is the first time I've ever heard about this movie being a thing. So I'm hoping it's more than just all right or bad. But like I said, there are some parts of the trailer where I think it has potential to be a good movie. So I'm hoping it is a good movie, because why would you want something to be a bad movie?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. I think like from the trailer, it looks visually wonderful, very gorgeous looking movie, set design, cinematography, and you've got a pretty good cast for the most part: Emma Roberts and Isa Gonzalez, and insert other actress here. But it just, from the looks of the trailer, I've been duped by trailers that look bizarre before, and I'm like, oh, this could be really good. Wounds. And then it just bites me in the ass. So, I'm skeptical. If I ever get the chance to see it, I'll definitely jump on it. But I'm gonna go in a little bit reserved though, because movies that seem weird and I'm like, oh yeah, weird stuff, let's go. And then, sometimes doesn't work out. So I'll go in reserved, but I'm sort of, I'm sort of interested in seeing it at some point. I hope it's definitely better than K through 12, that Melanie Martinez bullshit. Oh yeah, that was me, and you can go to Tony now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you could tell, but I stopped talking.
Oh my God.
You can go ahead, Tony. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it looks weird. I don't know about if it's like good weird or bad weird or weird. I don't know, but it looks weird for sure. I do like the cast members here, like Emma Roberts definitely being one of them for sure. Cinematography looks really gorgeous, definitely. No doubt it's a gorgeous looking movie, but not really sure how the story's gonna go. We'll just see how that goes. But I'm just kind of I guess in the middle with this one.
All right, so Paradise Hills, if you guys are looking forward to it, it does come out on November 1st. Don't think a lot of people know about it, but hey, it could end up being like a sleeper hit or something, so who knows. But this next film is one that Andrew was very adamant about introducing, so I'm just going to let him go ahead and do so.
Listen,
you finally turn your camera on.
No, this is it's
guys, I know this is shocking, but Andrew is not actually a duck. He is actually a human being.
I don't know. It's really hot in my apartment, so if you excuse me, I gotta. Hold on. It's really hot in here. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty.
Oh no!
Hey, Kevin, show all of us. Show all of us. You might want to show.
No.
Oh man, I was just really hot.
It's really hot, man.
Oh man.
Okay.
Man.
Guys, I thought
it's really hot in this room all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know, it was really hot.
Now that I can have, because I'm actually a duck. This is my actual head, Kevin.
I'm glad we took layers off.
Back to the camera.
Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
A new chapter of my life has begun.
As prince, I spent my days
Drinking, clowning. Now I find myself the king.
Choose your steps wisely, dear brother. They have their own kingdoms behind their eyes.
I need men around me I can trust. You are my friend. I will come with you.
All right, listen. Because I got to go back to my true form, the duck. Listen, for some reason, Kevin thought it was a good idea for me not to have this movie, for me not to present this movie, even though he knows how much I'm anticipating this movie. So we had to do some negotiating. Me and Tony did some trades, and he graciously gave me this for Arctic Dogs and Playing with Fire. Blockbuster trade of the century. But anyway, enough about that. I'm actually serious. I am really looking forward to The King. It's one of probably my most anticipated for the rest of the year. And the reason is because two reasons really. I mean, you got my boy Timothée Chalamet.
Yes, that is his name.
Yeah, and thank you, Kevin. Thank you for saying that it's his name after I said what his actual name was. Thank you for enlightening everybody.
I know.
But anyway, you got my boy Timothée Chalamet, who I'm a big fan of, and I can't wait to see what he does. And you got my other boy, Joel Edgerton, who is producing this. I believe he's writing this as well, and starring in it. And I'm a big fan of Joel Edgerton. Joel Edgerton's writing. I think like the two movies he's written previously, The Gift, which is very underappreciated, one of my favorite movies of the entire decade.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, shut up, Kevin. And Boy Erased, which I thought was one of the best movies of last year.
Oh yeah.
Both written and directed by him. I thought those both turned out phenomenally. So the fact that it's not directed by him, but the fact that it's written by him and produced by him and starring him and Timothée Chalamet makes me really excited. Also, I loved the trailer. I think it looks really good. And from what I hear, like the cinematography and the battle sequences and the score are pretty amazing from what I hear. So that's always something to be excited about.
Yeah, so The King overall, look, Netflix has a lot of movies coming out in the next like 2 months that are Oscar caliber, and I think we could definitely throw this one in there. I think the cast especially is definitely a good indicator of that. I mean, Timothée Chalamet, Robert Pattinson, Ben Mendelsohn, Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris. I mean, really just a stellar cast overall. Thomasin McKenzie as well. Really just a great cast. But then also factoring in like the heist, just the very like large scale of it all. It's a very grandiose sort of film. And I think that definitely could be really great. And I just hope overall this is a very interesting movie. I think this definitely has a lot of potential for sure. I don't know a ton about King Henry, but it definitely seems like they're going to show just how many challenges that he had to face here, how he was kind of like adverse to society and things like that. I think there's definitely a lot of potential there for sure. I'm hearing really great things about both Robert Pattinson and Joel Edgerton here, so I really do hope that they deliver. Similar to Andrew, I've also heard just amazing things about the score. Even for people that don't like the movie, I've heard the score is like one of the best of the year. So that alone has me definitely intrigued. And just overall, I think this could be a really great film. I think we got a really great cast here. I think we have a very interesting premise, and I think this could definitely end up delivering. It's not on like my must-see of the month, but it's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely one that I'm excited for.
Like what you all said, this is written by Joel Edgerton and also David Michaud, who has directed The Rover and War Machine. I love Rover. I think The Rover is a great movie. War Machine.
I thought you were gonna say War Machine, which totally isn't boring at all.
No. And I was going to say War Machine, I was pretty bored by. I was very let down by that one. But, I want to see what he could do with this one, though. So, you have a really good director here, and you have two really good writers right here, too. And then, other than just Timothée Chalamet, we also have Robert Pattinson and Ben Mendelsohn, Joel Edgerton, Lily Rose Depp. You have all that, but sadly, I'm not really looking forward to the movie, to be honest. Like, the trailer just did not grab me. I was honestly kind of like, once the trailer was over, I was like, okay, love the cast, great writers and great director, but I don't know about the movie, to be honest. Like, no doubt it looks beautiful, and the production design overall looks really good and all, but just not too sure about the story. I hope it is executed well, but the trailer didn't really give me that vibe, though. But, as always, I'll go in open-minded, though.
What the fuck are you doing, Jackson?
What are you talking about? I was off screen. What do you mean?
Nice.
Anyways, yeah, The King. So the last time a movie about a king unexpectedly dropped a trailer for Netflix. It was called Outlaw King, and I kind of walked into that because of the talent involved. I walked into that pretty excited, and then I got bored out of my mind. And now Netflix did the same thing again this year with just not Outlaw King, The King.
With
and once
Chris
again, it's got great actors in it and some talent involved, but it's going to Netflix. And I don't know if it's just I'm just tired of Netflix movies that aren't like universally praised at film festivals, because it seems like if they aren't, then it's just kind of worthless, like The Laundromat or something like that. There's other examples, but that's just the most recent thing that comes to mind. I'm just not, and I saw the trailer, I'm just like, whatever. It's like, I'm sure acting is going to be cool. I really do hope that, because I haven't seen any of David Michaud's films. Joel Edgerton, I think, is a great talent writing and directing wise, but everyone can make a blunder. Joel Edgerton also wrote Jane Got a Gun, and I thought that movie was incredibly dull. So I don't know. I don't care. I hear a lot of hype that Robert Pattinson shows his dick or something, which was the same thing about Chris Pine.
Are you gonna fall asleep and miss that again?
Yeah, it's literally gonna be the same thing again. I don't know. I don't care.
All right, so The King, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on November 1st. It's already, I think, I do think it's already like showing in a few theaters very soon. So definitely, try to see it if you want to. But that's everything coming out on November 1st. But now we get to the film that, out of all the movies we're talking about, this is definitely the film that I know Jackson is just absolutely dreading the most. This is definitely on his very, very low tier for sure. In all seriousness, though.
Look, you're going to make him cry! Say you're sorry!
In all seriousness, though, unlike how Andrew really wanted to talk about The King, I knew that getting Jackson onto this movie preview, I knew that it would not be right for me. It was my civic duty to make sure that he introduced this film. That's actually not a Disney live-action remake. I'm actually serious. This is a film he's looking forward to.
We are going to be talking about Dr. Sleep.
Hi. You can hear me. You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it The Shining. The world is a hungry place. A dangerous place.
These people, they hurt people like us.
Real quickly, 1 second.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. What's happening? What's happening?
I'm a really big fan of this movie here, The Shining.
Oh, I never heard that movie.
Never heard of it.
It's my
Never heard of it.
favorite horror movie of all time. I love this movie. So of course, when
Wow, that was sexy.
That was sexy.
Of course, when I found out Stephen King wrote a book that was a sequel, Dr. Sleep, I was like, okay, that's a book. I'm not the biggest reader in the world. Occasionally, I'll read a book if I'm really interested, but I'm not the biggest one, whatever. They announced they're going to make an adaptation of it. It was like, I don't know, because you're following up Kubrick's movie, which is fantastic. But instantly, they announced Mike Flanagan would be directing it. And I was like, all right, I'm on board. Because this man is responsible for some of the best horror content of this decade. We have Oculus, the very underrated Before I Wake, Gerald's Game, which is a Netflix film that I adore immensely, The Haunting of Hill House, which is his Netflix show that's going to have another season. It's like an anthology thing now, but it's the best thing he's ever made. And I think he's really proven himself to be literally, and Hush as well. He's literally proven himself to be one of our best horror filmmakers working today. Even with the few stuff that he's done, he's really shown that he has got what it takes. So, and just looking at the trailers for this movie, I'm thoroughly convinced that he has it on lock. I'm convinced that he has perfectly nailed the kind of tone in filmmaking that I'm expecting for a movie that's going to be in line with The Shining. And hearing him in interviews talk about, like, I'm going to be learning from The Shining, like there are no jump scares in it, like in typical dumb horror movies, that instantly got me more excited. Also, you have Ewan McGregor, who seems like he's going to play a really interesting Danny in this film. Rebecca Ferguson, Mike Flanagan talks about how she gives like a fantastic performance, like the best one in the movie. So instantly I'm hyped for that, aside from the fact that I'm a big fan of just her in general. For a guy who doesn't know anything about the Dr. Sleep book, I'm just really excited to finally see what this story has in store for me once I see it on the big screen. I'm so hyped to see a continuation that I didn't think I ever needed, but now after seeing the trailer, I'm thoroughly excited. Also,
yeah, pretty much everything that Jackson said. The second that they announced that Dr. Sleep was going to be a thing, I was very trepidatious about it. I really didn't know how it was going to turn out. But then the second that they said that Mike Flanagan was on board, as was I, because I think he is definitely one of the greats in terms of horror working today, between Gerald's Game, between Hush, between especially his masterpiece, Haunting of Hill House, especially coming off the heels of that. I really have no doubt that he is going to deliver something really great here, and that he definitely is going to deliver in the way that we want him to. And I think this is going to be a really interesting sequel, especially rewatching The Shining. And, I got to see it in theaters in the beginning of this month recently. And it really does do a great job of showing just how tortured Danny really was by all of this. And I think that's something that this film is really going to expand upon, is showing how, Danny had that gift and how this has very much hurt him. And now he's coming into contact with someone who also has that gift. I think there's just a lot of potential there for sure. I'm sure Ian McGregor is going to be fantastic here. I cannot wait to see how he's going to do. That is pitch perfect casting right there for sure. And then Rebecca Ferguson, can't wait to see how she's going to be. Also, the main girl, I don't know who she is. Obviously, she is a newcomer, but I think she's going to give a very strong performance here as well. Also got Bruce Greenwood, Cliff Curtis, and then for some reason they don't have Shelley Duvall coming back. They do have Alex Esso playing her role, which I'm interested in seeing how she's going to be. But she is, of course, playing Danny's mom. So I'm interested in seeing how that's going to go. There's a lot of potential for this movie. I think aesthetically it looks fantastic. I think it definitely looks very creepy. And every single time, in that trailer when he's like, I always called The Shining, I get so many chills down my spine. And if the trailer can do that, I can't imagine what the movie's going to do. Overall, this is definitely what I'm most anticipated for the rest of the year. I cannot wait to see how this is going to turn out. And I'm just anxiously awaiting the days until it comes out, because this looks pretty damn great.
So yeah, Dr. Sleep, I am looking forward to it, because of Ian McGregor being the lead actor for it. And then you also have Rebecca Ferguson and Jacob Tremblay in here, which I think is really cool. Movie looks really beautiful. And obviously, it's a sequel to The Shining. So how can I not look forward to this movie? Like, how can I not be looking forward to it, Sadly, I do have one hesitation, and that's Mike Flanagan.
And that's enough of that.
I am in the big minority with Mike Flanagan. Other than Oculus, which I did really like, I think it's a very solid and creative horror film. I haven't been a fan of his last 4 horror movies. I enjoyed Origins of Evil up until the 3rd act, so that one overall is just okay now because of that.
Not to mention Ouija Origin of Evil. I also
that one's also
sorry.
Yeah, I didn't like Hush. I didn't like Before I Wake, and I hated Gerald's Game. Easily the worst movie he's ever done, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I know everyone. He's impressed by a lot of people, which is cool. More power to the people. I can't take that away from them. They connect with his movies, and I respect that. Me, other than Oculus, I have not. So he's honestly the reason why this movie is not on my anticipated list, to be honest with you. He's honestly the reason I didn't put this in my anticipated list in my channel. But yeah, I hope for the best of Mike Flanagan. I'm going to be open-minded, because I do believe going to open-minded is very important. So I'm going to do it with this movie. But yeah, like everything else, like it being a sequel to The Shining, the cast, cinematography, all looks really good. Mike Flanagan is just my one hesitation with this movie. But aside from that, yeah, I am looking forward to Dr. Sleep, and I hope it delivers. Please do not disappoint me, Mike Flanagan. Come on, please, please.
All right. I'm actually, I like Mike Flanagan a lot. And like Jackson, when they announced the Dr. Sleep movie was coming, I was like, I don't know if we need it. But literally the second Mike Flanagan was announced to direct it, I was like, I trust him because unlike Tony and like Jackson and Kevin, I like Mike Flanagan a lot. I have not seen Oculus. I think that's the only thing I haven't seen from him. But I do really like Hush. I think that was a pretty underrated film. Not many people talk about it, but
yeah, for sure.
And just the concept is very interesting, you know. And I watched Haunting of Hill House earlier this year, and I think it's one of the honestly best things I've ever seen, horror wise.
Hell yeah.
And it's definitely the best thing he's ever done. So seeing that and just him having a good track record is what gets me excited. And the trailers coming out, and those are fantastic trailers. And Ewan McGregor's a great actor, and I like him a lot. And you know what? I just can't wait to see this movie.
All right, so Dr. Sleep overall, if you're looking forward to it, does come out on November 8th. If you are a fan of Mike Flanagan, unlike Tony here, then I'm sure you are very much hyped for it, and I really hope it is definitely does deliver for sure. And but also coming out November 8th, here's the thing. While that looks really good, literally nothing else coming out November 8th, except for like one other movie, looks good. So, we're going to get to this next movie, which I know Tony here is just absolutely elated to introduce.
All right, we're about to go midway up in this bitch. Yeah! Midway.
See, this is why Kevin gets mad at you all the time because of Dr. Sleep. This is why I can't be mad, because you have the best puns in the biz.
Literally the worst.
Right,
no, the best.
Pearl Harbor is the greatest intelligence failure in American history.
This can never happen again. I want to make it right.
At least some of the boys still want to fight.
The Japanese are planning something bigger.
So what's the target?
We believe it's Midway.
But yeah, Midway it is, directed by Roland Emmerich, and you really actually have a really talented cast here. You've got Patrick Wilson, you've got Aaron Eckhart, you have Nick Jonas, you have a lot of people in this film. But I'm definitely not gonna say I'm dreading this one like I know another person in this room, hint hint. Whatever. Like visually, it looks like garbage. I'll say that. The visuals look like absolute.
Oh my god! Yes.
The visuals look like garbage. I'm not even gonna hold back there. It looks like utter shit. The visuals look like garbage. Movie itself, it just looks like it's gonna be a mediocre, generic, dull movie that I'm just gonna watch to add to my 2019 list and just move on with my life after that. That's what Midway looks like to me. That's what Midway looks like to me. So I have really nothing much to really add to Midway. It just looks like a whatever generic kind of movie.
Holy fuck. Look, I haven't seen a ton of Roland Emmerich stuff for sure, but I'm very aware of his aesthetic. I am very aware of the kind of stuff he's done. I'm also very aware that he's tried to do films like this before and has failed miserably. And so I have zero confidence in the fact that he is actually going to churn out something really good here, especially that he's going to churn out something really emotional, something that's really like gripping and things like that. I just don't see it at all. This looks so dumb to me. The effects literally look like, honestly, Tony and I watched a movie called Airstrike last year. The effects in that look better than this, honestly. And that was a direct-to-DVD movie. The effects in that look better than whatever the hell's going on in this.
And that movie is a masterpiece.
Yes, it is. It is. That's the one distinction, is that movie is fantastic, and this movie looks like hot garbage. And then the cast here, I mean, yeah, it is fantastic, but I have no idea why fucking Woody Harrelson, Patrick Wilson, Aaron Eckhart, Dennis Quaid, why would they sign on to this shit? And then you have like also have like Ed Skrein and Darren Criss and Kean. Like it's all over the map in terms of like, high caliber and then like lower tier actors. And I am not looking forward to this at all. This looks really bad to me. Every single time I see the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I'm really fucking dreading it. And then that poster, holy shit, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. I mean, the cropping and things like that is so bad. Just everything about this just looks so dumb. And look, again, I always say, and you guys are going to say I'm contradicting myself, I always say that directors should try to go against the grain. They should do something that isn't their natural forte, you know, just to become a better director in the way. But I just don't see Roland Emmerich doing it. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. I don't see Roland Emmerich, especially from the action sequences alone. I don't see him being able to get away from like the big budget explosion stuff. I just don't see him taking this seriously at all. I think this is going to be a really, really cynically made film. I think this is going to be very insensitive. I think it's going to be just a really, really hard to watch film, and it's not one that I'm looking forward to at all. It is definitely what I least anticipated for the rest of the year easily. Jackson.
You know, I was really shocked to find out that Roland Emmerich was remaking Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor, but what do you know? You know, I'm not really excited for this at all. Like Roland Emmerich, there's only one movie that I like from him. Okay, well, two technically, but the first Independence Day, because that's just like that's like epitome of like 90s cheese movie, and then Independence Day Resurgence. But please take for granted, I haven't seen that movie since I was a dumb 15-year-old, and that was like 3 years ago. So my opinion could have changed by then, but you know, every other movie I've seen from him, I've either just not liked or just been like whatever towards. And you know, it's like I think it's like one of the first times he's tried to do like an actual like based on a true story instead of just like a disaster. What?
The Patriot is the only other one.
Okay, yeah. Then other than that, like everything else, just like 2012, Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 people.
Didn't he do that? Not to interrupt, but did he do that Anonymous movie?
Okay, well, to be fair, I haven't seen any of those, but I've seen pretty much his disaster films, and they suck, and they're all dumb, and I'm not a fan of his filmmaking. Yeah. And maybe Anonymous is like fantastic, or maybe The Patriot is, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But this just has all the trademarks of Roland Emmerich making a dumb action blockbuster, but he's using a real life tragedy that led into like a real life attack, and it's like. I know he's gonna mess it up. I know. Yep. I know he's gonna mess it up. It's like there's no way in my mind where this actually goes well for him. Like the visual effects, it always screams visual effects to me. You know, it seems so hokey and phony, and I'm not excited to see it whatsoever. If anything, I might skip it overall because Dr. Sleep is like way more important.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree with what everybody said. This movie. Just looks like hot garbage. You know, Roland Emmerich. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of his films, but from what I've seen, other than Independence Day, have been just awful. I mean, was the last movie he did Independence Day Resurgence?
I think that's the last movie he directed. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that movie was just awful. And you know, the trailers look terrible. Like they said it. Like the special effects, like it's probably some of the worst, probably from like in this year at least.
Yeah.
And
maybe the whole time.
And I can't talk about this film and not mention the beautifulness that is the poster.
Oh
like such a bit like I don't know. It just seems like nobody gives a fuck about this movie. Like from all aspects, like nobody seems to care. Like they're like, oh, let's take this, you know, real life thing that happened and try to make some money off of it and try to make it as bad as we possibly can.
Yeah, let's crop Patrick Wilson where he's like out of frame. That's a great idea. But yeah, if you're looking forward to Midway, I'm sure there's fans out there who love Roland Emmerich stuff. Then go nuts. But either way,
those people are called insane, and they're being checked into the psych ward at once.
Yeah, may or may not be little silly in the head. But yeah, if you're looking
what may or may not be a little silly in the head.
Yes,
bruh.
Oh my God,
may or may not be a little silly in the head.
Yeah, that's exactly what I imagined Kevin like doing.
But if you're looking forward to it, it comes out November 8th. Go nuts, I guess. Yeah, so now we get to the only other movie coming out this week that actually does look somewhat promising that I'm going to introduce, and that is Last Christmas.
You have thrown away your life working in some silly Christmas shop.
Baby, don't cry.
Hey, Elf! This is my little helper. I have nicknamed her Lazy the Elf because she appears never to work.
Father, early Christmas, get me out of here.
What?
Jesus, where'd you come from?
Well, what are you looking at?
Might be a falcon.
Oh, damn it.
I think it just pooed in your eye.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good luck, you know.
What is?
Getting pooed on by bird.
I'm busy, you're weird. Goodbye.
All right, so Last Christmas overall, I didn't really know what this was going to be. I was kind of not necessarily dreading it, but I was so like whatever to it. And then the trailer came out. I mean, I was especially worried when I saw on the poster it said like featuring the music of George Michael. I was like, oh no, is this going to be like Mamma Mia or something? But then the trailer came out, and I honestly think this looks kind of cute. I don't think this looks like anything amazing, but it looks like a nice, sweet Christmas film. And considering that we don't get a lot of those, especially nowadays, most Christmas films just really aren't that great. I think this looks pretty good. I think Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding look like they have really good chemistry. I think that the story looks kind of fun, and yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it, but it's a trailer where every single time it comes on, I'm like, you know what? I think that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be a fun movie. Again, I say this every single year. I don't know why it's coming out in November. It should definitely be a December release, but whatever. It looks fun. It definitely does look fun, and I hope that's what it is, because I do think it has potential overall. I like the cast, and yeah.
All right. So I'm actually not looking forward to this movie. The trailer just simply didn't do anything for me. I mean, I will say that Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding do look like they do a good job in this movie, but I don't know. It just seems pretty generic to me. So I kind of have a feeling on how it's going to end. And you know what? The real thing that's really turning me off is the fact that Paul Feig is directing this.
Mm-hmm.
He is not just someone that I'm a fan of. I mean, Bridesmaids is, I think, one of the most overrated movies simply that I've ever seen. And I mean, he did do A Simple Favor last year, which I enjoyed, and Spy, which I enjoyed.
Yep.
But let's not forget, he is the guy who did the Ghostbusters remake. So yeah, I'm not a fan of him. I'm hoping this turns out good because, you know, it's why want a bad movie? But you know, this just doesn't. Not that it looks terrible, but it just looks like it's gonna be a forgettable film.
Jackson.
Sorry, I was listening to the hot beats of George Michael. Anyways, yeah, Last Christmas. You know, after A Simple Favor last year, I was like, all right, Paul Feig's back on track. Because unlike Andrew, aside from Ghostbusters, I actually do like his film. I haven't seen The Heat, but I like Bridesmaids a lot, and Spy I think is really fun. Ghostbusters is a hot, steaming pile of garbage, but A Simple Favor was like, all right, this is cool, this is neat, and it's based off a book, but I was interested to see how he would adapt it, and I think he did a really good job. So to see him kind of follow up with a movie like this is almost like, okay. But from the trailer, it looks kind of cute, and it looks like, you know, there could be a lot of emotion and heartfeltness to it. So, you know, if it's Paul Feig going back to more like his more comedic roots with a Bridesmaids or a Spy, but having obviously a lot more heart, then honestly, I'm in for it. Like, I'm interested to see where it goes. It's not my most anticipated, obviously, because this is the kind of premise that could fall flat on its face with just like a couple mistakes. But you know, I have enough faith in Paul Feig, I guess, to hope that this could actually be a big surprise. Hopefully, at least.
All right. Well, while we wait for Tony, I'm just gonna say.
I'm already here.
It's right there, bitch.
Oh, your camera's off.
Well, you'll see why.
Oh no. What the fuck?
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, you turned
on. Yes, last Christmas. I even got my shirt and my hat and everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, to be honest. I think this one looks really cute. I'm a sucker for Christmas movies, so obviously how can I not be looking forward to it? Honestly, even before the trailer even dropped, I was actually looking forward to it because, Amelia Clark and Harry Golding. And
aside from that, it looked like a Hallmark movie from the poster.
Yes. But I did like the first look images that Entertainment Weekly released before the trailer dropped. So I was like, okay, this could be cute. And I saw a trailer. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it does look cute. It's about what I would expect. And that there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because like I said, I do like me some Christmas movies. And I think Amelia Clark and Henry Golding, they look like they're going to have really great chemistry. I know Emma Thompson is the writer for this one too. Co-writer, I should say, as well as being in this one. So I also think that's really cool. And yeah, just give me some nice Christmas feeling. I do have a pet peeve with these movies coming out early on November. I wish it would be like summer in December, and this seems like that kind of movie that should have waited until December to come out. But you know what? Regardless, I am looking forward to this. It looks really cute. And yeah, last Christmas, dance with me.
I will not dance with you, but you are speaking some real truths for sure about those Christmas releases. But if you're looking forward to Last Christmas, it comes out on November 8th. For some reason, not in December, but definitely look forward to it. And I don't know what just happened to Jackson, but I hope he's gone. I hope he's gone, But also coming out on November 8th is another film. Now, you know how I said that The King was the film that Andrew wanted to introduce the most? No, that's actually a lie. This is the film that I know he wanted to talk about the most out of any film that we're talking about. I know he's hyped for it, so go ahead.
Listen, the next movie we're introducing. Listen, Kevin thinks Midway is the worst. It thinks like Midway looks worse than this. Well, he is absolutely wrong because this movie looks like shit. Like, that movie is playing with fire, by the way.
No shenanigans under my watch.
Me, fireman. Can't turn my neck.
What needs to happen this second is you gotta watch your tone, little sister.
For what?
Masher is coming to rock your world.
What just happened?
I think the baby just broke a dog, Sue.
Good doggy.
I was going to say, I introduce what the movie is first.
Shut up, Kevin. Let me talk. Listen, John Cena, I think he's a pretty solid actor.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this ain't it, Chief. The trailer is easily the worst I've seen this year. There's a farting joke in there where the little girl is farting, and I go, damn, like, this is the type of movie that this is going to be. And I know I'm definitely not going to see it because, I care about my well-being, my mental health, and this movie would probably cause me to go insane.
All right. Well, I, on the other hand, like every movie, I am going to see this probably. I don't want to because it looks like absolute shit for sure. Yeah, similar to Arctic Dogs, I don't know why this is in theaters. I really don't. Just to be 100% honest with you, before I saw the trailer, Tony here actually told me that this looks like a movie that would come out on TV Nickelodeon, like a TV movie. And yeah, definitely, it very much fits that billing. I mean, just how cheap it looks and just the talent here, which is really lacking. Keegan-Michael Key, I don't know what you're doing here, but it looks really bad. Good cast for sure, but no one looks like they're utilized well. John Cena's just, I'm playing like the tough, firefighter guy, and it's not working at all. The kids here look really annoying. The humor here just looks like absolute cringe. You know what this is? And it could just be because I grew up with this movie. This looks like the bad version of that Vin Diesel movie, The Pacifier. That's what this reminds me of. I watched that film as a kid. I remember enjoying it. And that's what this reminds me of. And they're besmirching that great film that's probably shit, but I remember liking it. So yeah. this looks really bad. It looks obnoxious. It looks very LCD, as I always say, and is easily one of least anticipated of the entire year. I'm just baffled that this isn't like a Nickelodeon TV movie, because like I honestly don't know who this is for. But to be fair, every single time I see this trailer, my audience is dying of laughter. So similar to Jexy, maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just adverse to like, humor these days. What's actually making people laugh? That could very well, that may be the case. It might just be, but yeah, this looks like shit. It easily one of my least anticipated for the entire year for sure.
Yeah, this movie looks awful. Similar to what I said about Arctic Dogs. I can't wait for this movie to come out, so I have to stop sitting through that goddamn trailer like 10 fucking times. Jesus Christ. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know why a cast as talented is in a movie like this. It looks like very lowbrow kiddie humor, and like like kids deserve better than this. Like they really do. It just sucks that this is what the movie is. I hope the movie is one of those things where it surprises you. I hope the actual movie isn't maybe like that, because I know we've been full of thinking a kid movie will just have generic humor, and sometimes it turns the tables around. If Playing with Fire somehow does that, that would be really wonderful. But as far as how the trailer presents the movie, it is not doing good at all, Chief. It's really bad. It's really cringeworthy. I'm tired of seeing that trailer in the theater. I don't know why John Cena's in this. I don't know why Keegan-Michael Key's in this, or John Leguizamo. I pretty much don't know why anyone's really in this movie. I don't even know why it's a thing, but it's here. Just come out already so I could stop watching that trailer. And yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, so Playing with Fire, this movie, like, I see the trailer for this thing, and it always reminds me of, like, it's made by Nickelodeon, as you say, but I just say it just looks like an early 2000s movie where they'd get a very popular actor, put him in a kids movie, have him be cutesy with all these kids, and get all the cliches in there, learning a valuable lesson, whatever it is, be in touch with your child and getting to know these kids. But and I'm not for this, Chief. The jokes, if you can even call them jokes, are all awful. John Cena, it's basically just John Cena gets beat up accidentally, the movie. So, whatever. Keegan-Michael Key, it looks like he's doing everything that an annoying Keegan-Michael Key would do. So, hey, very excited for that, obviously. John Leguizamo, I mean, I don't know why he does movies like this, man. It seems like he could be a really great actor, but he always picks the worst things ever to do. And I'm just like, why is Negasonic Teenage Warhead even in this movie, by the way? Since, they got Deadpool money and Trinkets on Netflix money. I don't know why I wanted to do this movie that obviously looks like pure fucking dog shit, but whatever. That's what the kids like. Literally every single time the baby goes boom boom, and John Cena's like, boom boom, what's that? And then him and Keegan-Michael Key are like, oh, don't throw up, I'm gonna throw up. The audience laughs, and I slit my wrists even more. The blood starts pouring out. I black out, and I miss the movie, whatever it is I was going to see.
Yeah, I saw Maleficent, Mistress of Evil earlier today, and they played that trailer, and my audience was like dying of laughter. It was great. So Playing with Fire, if you're looking forward to it, it comes out November 8th. Surely there is an audience for this, because again, my audience laughs at it. So again, just hope you enjoy it. It comes out then. But so this next film we're going to talk about, though, is a film that I know Jackson here is very excited to introduce.
I think Nick Cage wants to fucking kill me. Primal, not the Genndy Tartakovsky limited series. I'm just talking about Primal.
I have hit the mother load. Put it mother load. I think this one's going to the highest bidder.
So nice to see American faces.
Marine Commando under arrest for crimes against humanity.
Seizures can happen without warning. My radio will be on 24 hours.
Dr. Taylor.
This movie, he's got a boat or something. It's got like animals on it that are like dangerous or whatever. Like a white jaguar that's like, "Don't touch my cat! Don't mess with my cat!" They also have to transport like a dangerous criminal played by someone Durand. He gets out of his jail cell and he lets out the dangerous animals. So not only do they have to get this dangerous criminal, Nick Cage will have to pull some Chris Pratt Jurassic World stuff where he's like, "Calm down, cat. I'm here to help you out. Listen to my voice." So I don't like Nicolas Cage's straight to DVD movies. I really don't. And the fact that this is pretty much another one, I'm not excited. I can't.
I know you love this.
I can't excited with the. I can't get too excited with just the. Oh, it's Nicolas Cage. It's an instant meme. It's like I'm not that easy as far as like being entertained by bad shit. Every time I see Nick Cage now, I'm just like, fuck me. He's wasting his talents again. Like, I don't like Mandy, but at least that's like different than this. Like, I just need a paycheck because I'm constantly bankrupt. Like, Mandy's like a different movie at least. Then you get movies like Primal or A Score to Settle or what's the one we
Running with the Devil?
Yeah, it's like, god damn. I it's to the point where I can't even be like entertained by Nicolas Cage all the time. I'm just constantly annoyed whenever I see him. It's like, fuck you, Nick Cage, piece of shit, bastard, fuck you.
Well, you know what? I am the complete opposite. I see Nick Cage and I just know it's going to be an instant classic. This looks really fucking dumb, but you know what? It looks like it's right up my alley. I'm sorry, but hearing Nick Cage screaming like, "You got to find my cat. If you don't find my cat, I'm going to like kick your teeth in," or something like that. Like, I'm sorry. How can I not be entertained by that? I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Maybe I'm just easily entertained. I'm really not. I'm very hard to entertain.
You're just stupid.
I'm a very cynical person, okay? I'm very hard to entertain. I really don't laugh a lot, but either way, this is definitely right up my alley. This is something I really do enjoy for sure, and I think could be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really bad, but I don't really care because it's Nick Cage as a zoologist. The concept in itself is ridiculous, and I think this is going to be stupid fun. I can totally see this being a great guilty pleasure for me that I will make Jackson watch. Tony, Jackson and I will cast it. Jackson will hate himself. Tony and I will be laughing hysterically, and yeah, can't wait.
Fuck yeah, got to a new level of Candy Crush. Okay, so with Primal, yeah, I'm having a good streak with Candy Crush right now. But yeah, you know what, Kevin? Who cares about being your movie preview? I'm out. I'm just joking. But yeah, Primal, I'm pretty much with Kevin. Unfortunately, I hate whenever I agree with Kevin. But
I
yes,
just hate Kevin.
Honestly, yeah, same. But yeah, this looks amazingly bad. I don't know if it's going to be on the level of the greatest movie ever made, The Intruder, because that was a masterclass of filmmaking right there. But yes, this looks amazingly bad, especially that cat line by Nick Cage. That was just so beautiful right there. Yeah, I hope it's better than A Score to Settle, because that was not a very entertaining Nicolas Cage movie. It had its moments, sure, but not the entire movie. That was just like hard to watch, honestly. But yeah, hopefully if we do cast that together, it'll be better than that freaking Score to Settle movie. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Primal. Not the Gennady Tartakovsky, thing. This movie.
All right, listen. I'm on the same boat with Jackson as this one. This movie just doesn't look good. It looks like Nick Cage is having fun with it, and it looks like he can give like a fun performance. But like, I don't know, just this movie, it doesn't look like it's gonna do it for me. I agree that Nick Cage is a really good actor, and I didn't like Mandy, but I agree that at least he was trying something different with that. And this movie just doesn't look like it's gonna be the one for me. The effects look pretty bad in this one too, and I'm just kind of tired of seeing this in the Cage movies.
All right. Well, if you are a fan of Nick Cage movies, not like these two losers here, then definitely look forward to Primal. It does come out on November 8th. Definitely look forward to it then. Now we get to a film that I am very much looking forward to, but unfortunately I am not introducing. Tony here is going to introduce this one.
And that movie is going to be boy.
I see you. Concentrate real hard. Be a 12-year-old. Pie fight. Ugh.
It's not a pie fight.
Think it through. What's your mother got a job for?
Just in case.
In case what?
I don't
In case
know.
you fail. In case it don't work out. Yes, man. She's filling your head full of fear. I pump you full of strength. Because we're on a team, and I know you got what it takes. You're a star, and I know it. That's why I'm here. I'm your cheerleader, honey boy.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Honey Boy is the movie. This is the movie written by Shia LaBeouf, and it is loosely based on his life, with Shia LaBeouf playing his father, which is a very interesting choice, definitely. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one. You know, I saw the trailer, and I was just immediately taken aback just by how great that trailer was. It truly looks like, unlike anything we've seen, just a different kind of narrative for something like this, which I think is really cool. And I know the reviews have been really good, which makes me happy for Shia LaBeouf and everyone else involved. And I do hope I'll certainly find a ton of enjoyment out of the movie and just feel so engrossed by the story. It does look very engaging. The performances all across the board just looks really, really top notch. And yeah, I just can't wait for this. This is from Amazon Studios, and I think I'm confident saying this is my most anticipated from Amazon Studios for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I am so excited for this film. The second, I've been excited for a while now, ever since I heard that like Shia LaBeouf was going to do a film. You know, basically like basically like exploring like his childhood and his contentious relation with his father and things like that. And this looks fantastic. It really seems like he's giving it his all here. And like I've seen him in interviews and things like that, you know, with directing this movie, and well, not directing, but like when because someone else is directing, but like writing this movie and things like that. And he talked about how, you know, he wasn't going to pull any punches. He was going to try to make it as raw as possible. And the fact that he's even like playing his father, someone who, you know, the fact that he has that kind of confidence, the fact that he has that fearless ability, I think is fantastic. I can't wait to see what he does there. I'm hearing that's like his best, one of the best, maybe the best performance he's ever given. He looks unrecognizable there. Aside from him, I mean, Lucas Hedges, Noah Bouquet, really looks like it's going to be really well acted across the board. And just in general, I think this is going to be a really great film. I think it's definitely going to be hard to watch at points, but I think it's going to be very enlightening. I think it's going to be something that is definitely very effective. And again, just kudos to Shia LaBeouf for telling this kind of story. You know, many people have a hard time even being able to verbalize about their traumatic childhoods. And the fact that he is, you know, going as far as to show that to the public and not really hide anything, I think is just a major, major achievement, and is highly commendable. So that alone has me very excited. Really, just in general, this is easily one I most anticipated the entire month. And I don't know when this is going wide, but I really hope it comes near me, you know, pretty close to its release, because I definitely am pretty excited for this one. But Andrew.
All right, listen.
I got the order wrong last time, Jackson, okay?
What?
Why do you think I posted in the chat?
Why are you yelling at me?
You didn't see
why are you yelling at him?
You didn't see what Jackson was doing.
What was he doing?
He was like freaking out because I went to you over him.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your fault, Kevin, not mine. But anyway, listen. Honey Boy looks like a really good movie. I think Shia LaBeouf is on a career resurgence right now with this and the Peanut Butter Falcon, and I couldn't be happier for him, because, you know, he looks like he finally got his life around. He's a great actor. I mean, I loved him in Peanut Butter Falcon, and just the fact that he's willing to make something like this, is pretty amazing. He looks like he gives a career best performance, and, you know, Lucas Hedges is a great actor as well, so I can't wait to see that from him.
Yeah, when I found out that Shia LaBeouf was going to make or write a movie like this, I was actually very interested, because, you know, Shia LaBeouf, his career is kind of gone into some, you know, bad places. But, you know, Peanut Butter Falcon earlier this year, you know, he did a really good job in that, you know. And then also you have this movie on his plate, which honestly looks really great from not just performance wise, but I think, you know, the fact that he's going to be so bold with his storytelling here as far as his script goes, you know, I think that's really interesting. The trailer opened up with him doing like it's not any scene from a Transformers movie, but he's essentially doing like a Transformers-esque scene where he's going like, no, 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 and an explosion happens. So I was like, oh, this is really gonna go deep in a lot of stuff. So I'm very excited to see it. It looks like it could be a really hard watch though. So yeah, obviously I'm up to watching any movie, but I'm also kind of be going in like, oh, how's this movie gonna go as far as like in what places is this gonna go? Because I don't know the full story of him and his relationship with his father. Is it gonna go really nasty or is it just gonna be really sad? I don't know, but I'm just really excited to see it. I'm really excited to hear Shia LaBeouf's story. Bitch.
Yeah, so Honey Boy, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on November 8th. Like I said, not too sure about when it expands, but those are all the movies coming out on November 8th. You know, Dr. Sleep, Last Christmas, Honey Boy, and then a bunch of other stuff that kind of looks like shit. Now we get to November 12th because that's the day that Disney Plus comes out. So there are 2 original movies we're talking about. And unfortunately, for once, we have a Disney live-action remake that Jackson is not introducing. Unfortunately, I'm the one that's introducing this.
Yay!
And that is the highly necessary live-action version of Lady and the Tramp.
Whoa, Snob Hill.
There we go. I got my color. I got it.
Let me just take a little guess here. You're the center of your people's universe, right?
You could say that. Your family's just about perfect. Don't. Please don't.
Well, lady, that's basically all over now. You're about to be replaced.
Replace me? I don't think so.
Lady, this is Lulu.
When the baby moves in, the dog moves out.
Lady and the Tramp overall, look, you guys know I have become very just disillusioned when it comes to these live action remakes. They're just really not doing it for me anymore, especially this year. And Lady and the Tramp does not look like that much of an improvement. I will say I think the cast here, voice cast wise, does look really good. Tessa Thompson, Justin Theroux look like they're going to do a really good job. I'm excited to see what they do here. But because of the fact that it is real dogs, it looks really awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Just the movements of the dogs, and then the expression, the very expressive tone from Justin Theroux and Tessa Thompson, it just doesn't really work as well as it should here, especially in the most recent trailer. It wasn't as obvious, I would say, in the teaser, but especially in the most recent, I'm very concerned with how that's going to go. It just seems very awkward to me. That's the best word to describe it. I think that the voice cast here is probably going to do a good job. I'm not entirely sure about the live action. I'm really worried that they're going to focus more on the humans and things like that, which is, like what fucking Dumbo did. And I don't think this is going to do, not make them like the main focus. I think they'll still be the main focus, but I feel like it's going to give them more character, which I'm really not into the idea of, because I feel like it should be from the dog's perspective, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, this just, it just looks like another wholly unnecessary remake. Nothing about this seems like it needs to be made. Now, look, Lady and the Tramp, no, it's not a perfect film. It's definitely a solid film. It's not a perfect film, but there are definitely ways to improve it. A way to do that is to, I don't know, not make it live action and not make it real dogs, because it makes it look really fucking awkward. And yeah, so I'm not dreading this or anything. It just looks awkward. That's the best way to describe it.
I saw the trailer for the first time today. Mm-hmm. And the biggest takeaway I could have from this trailer is, how, just out of place when the dogs talk. It just looks so out of place, looks so awkward. The dogs look fine. I mean, they're real dogs, so they better, look fine. But and then when they tried to show expression or tried to talk, it was just it looked so out of place and looked awkward and looked kind of like cartoonish, too cartoonish.
Kind of like Uncanny Valley, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just watching it, I'm like, we don't need this. I mean, we don't need most live action Disney remakes, but like, yeah, no, we didn't. We don't need this.
No.
And yeah, like, well, why remake this movie of all things? Like,
especially as like the movie you're launching your streaming service onto. Why this one?
Yeah, same. Like, yeah, no, this probably gonna be another movie where we're like, wow, why they should just stop making these, but they won't.
So, as maybe some of you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Disney taking their original.
Oh, really? I thought you loved them.
Yeah, believe it or not, fuck you, Kevin. But yeah, as soon as I found out about this movie, I was not excited for it. The fact that it was coming to a streaming service, I was like, okay, it's not coming to theaters, but it's probably going to make them a ton of money on the streaming service anyway. So same thing applies. They're just taking their old stuff and making it live action, blah, make more money, whatever. I don't give a fuck. The thing that I really don't like about live action remakes of cartoon or animated films is the fact that there's so much that gets lost in that transition from animation to live action. There's certain things you can do with animated films, Kevin. There's so much you can do with animated films, like when you have animated animals, for instance, like, I don't know, Ladies and Tramps, where you can you can do fun things with them that wouldn't make sense in live action because animals can't do that. But in animation, it's like, okay, I can buy it. But then it's happened with The Lion King. They took that cartoon and made it it looks so real. So now they can't do any of the fun stuff that made the cartoon so special. Now it's dull and boring and a waste of time. And I'm pretty positive that that's going to be the same thing here. Whenever they talk, it's like, I thought we were done with talking animal movies like this unless it went straight to DVD. And I guess this is straight to streaming, but it's like it's made by Disney though, and you'd expect like they're pumping up this streaming service that's going to kill Netflix, and we have like The Mandalorian coming and a new High School Musical show, and then we have this movie that feels like it belongs to a different decade. But whatever, I don't care. Fuck you, Disney. You suck. Okay, let me be clear. They don't entirely suck, but for the most part, do they?
Yeah, we're gonna praise them in a little bit, but not yet. Not yet.
All right, so yeah, Lady and the Tramp. This is the another Disney remake, and it just looks whatever to me. I enjoy the animated film. I actually watched it with Kevin last year for the first time in a while, and I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. It was really solid. It was very simple, but it was simple but done very well. And just like what you could say about really any of these remakes, you don't really have to do it, but the voice acting, the actors I'm sure will do a good job, but it's like what pretty much everyone has said, so I don't want to really sound like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, the mouth movements and all that, it just looks kind of awkward and all that. And I hope Kevin brought up a good point, actually. I hope it's not a Dumbo situation where it's more focused on the human characters rather than the dogs, or in Dumbo's case, Dumbo. So I hope that's not the direction this one decides to go with. But not really too high on it, not draining it though at the same time, but I'm not too high on it either. I did tell this to Kevin Leary the other night though, I don't ask for much in life. Just give me one good Disney remake for 2019. Just one good remake for this year. I'm sorry, I don't think this is a chief. I gotta tell you, I don't think this is a chief. Hey, you never know. Things could surprise you. You weren't looking for the Hustlers, and look what happened with that. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. Gotta be open-minded. So,
but Hustlers had talking humans.
Oh my God! Be quiet, Kevin.
Real dogs coming out of
Jesus
actors.
Christ, Kevin. Oh my God! You suck.
Kevin, just look at my slippers here. Look at my beautiful Bigfoot slippers.
Okay, whatever. But if you're looking forward to Lady and the Tramp, it comes out November 12th. You already have Disney Plus, so watch it then. But besides Lady and the Tramp, there's this other movie coming out on November 12th that really shows what really makes me worried about the kind of stuff that Disney Plus is going to deliver quality-wise. And Andrew, what the fuck are you doing? Andrew here is going to introduce it.
Listen, this movie I'm introducing, Noelle.
Noelle Kringle.
Morning, princess.
My partridge in a pear tree underwear needs washing.
Oh, well, then my Christmas wish has been granted.
Christmas runs in my family. My dad was Santa, and now it's my brother Nick's turn to wear the hat.
Stocking full of coal if I've ever seen one.
He saved a kitten from a tree.
Some nice.
Stars Anna Kendrick. Is about Santa, I guess, has died or retired. They never really imply in the trailer. It kind of seems like he's dead.
No, he's retiring. He's retiring.
Retiring. I'm gonna say dead because I'm gonna say that he's dead because it sounds cooler. So Santa is dead, and they got.
You want to kill children's dreams like that, Andrew?
Yo, Kevin, shut the fuck up! I'm talking. I'm trying to introduce this movie.
Even though you already did.
I'm talking about it now. Leave me alone.
Man, Kevin, you're a great host.
Yeah, seriously. But Noelle does not look good. It looks cheesy. Looks like it's gonna be kind of It kind of seems like how like Playing with Fire is like directed towards kids. And like how Arctic Dogs is directed towards kids. Not as bad. This does not seem as bad as those movies, but this still seems pretty bad. I'm not looking forward to this. Anna Kendrick looks like she tries her hardest, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much dreading this one, unfortunately. Look, I love Anna Kendrick. I love Bill Hader. I think that they're both really talented, but this is very similar to what Jackson said with Playing with Fire in that it feels like a movie that wouldn't even come out these days. It feels like a very like early 2000s kind of movie. Like this is basically like the Santa Claus, but if it was like entirely geared towards kids and it was like the most easy jokes possible. This just looks really cringy to me. The second that like Anna Kendrick came out and like started singing and things like that and started like rapping and shit, I'm not feeling this at all. This just looks really dumb. Look, I understand that there was a specific audience for this and things like that, but again, I gotta say, I mean, this is supposed to be the premiere of your streaming service. This is you saying, okay, this is the kind of content that is going to be on our streaming service, and from the looks of this and laying the tramp, not the best start, really, not the best start. This looks really dumb. Anna Kendrick seems like she's bored, honestly. She does not seem like she's into this at all. I'm sure Bill Hader's going to do a good job, but yeah, this looks really bad to me, and definitely one of my least anticipated for the rest of the year, easily.
And this one for me doesn't really look that bad. I think it looks kind of cute, to be honest. I think Kendrick looks like she'll bring a lot of personality.
Oh, really? It's a CEO.
Yes, you didn't know that.
Gendering people now, Tony. Totally not going to get you canceled.
Oh yeah, definitely. But no, yeah, I think she looks like she'll be a lot of fun, as well as Bill Hader, who I'm glad is finally gained more recognition recently after all this time, for sure. And I think they're going to do a very good job interacting with each other. Yeah, some of the humor is not like the best, but it's not anything like cringe-worthily bad, like a Playing with Fire. That's like the ultimate cringe for me. This one doesn't make me cringe anywhere near as much as Playing with Fire. I'll happily take Noelle over Playing with Fire, like no question. But yeah, I think it could be one of those movies that definitely it's not anything new. We've definitely seen a story like this before, but I feel like with Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader leading this movie, I feel like they could add some of the enjoyment to the cuteness factor at least. So I am definitely very hopeful about this one.
I don't know about this one, guys.
Shut the fuck up.
Who was that, Kevin? Who was that? Okay. I mean, I'm honestly, Tony just made up an interesting comparison. If I had to choose between Playing with Fire and this movie, he'd go with this one, Noelle. And honestly, I'm with him. It looks like it obviously looks like it has more money behind it as far as like it looks prettier and cinematography wise, it looks nicer. God, yeah, and I feel like it's got more talent. Like not to diss any of the people that are in Playing with Fire, but it at least looks like the people in this movie talent wise have more to do than just silly goofball pratfalls and junk. And it definitely does look like it's going for like the most basic kind of humor possible for kids and just be as pleasing as possible for a Disney movie for Christmas. But you know, whatever, man. Like I love Anna Kendrick, but you know, this movie, I don't think. Even when they announced it, I was kind of confused. Like, why is she doing a movie like this? I understand like doing like you know, if you want to do like a more kid friendly movie, sure. But like this seems very like this seems like very like Kevin said, very early 2000s, like Playing with Fire, in the sense that not a lot of movies like this are really made anymore. I guess maybe they're trying to rival this with like the Christmas Chronicle. Obviously, like I think this movie entered production before that movie came out, but I think now the opportunity is like, well, now we can really compete. And you know, I just don't really care. Bill Hader maybe could be funny. Maybe Billy Eichner, he had a funny joke that I kind of laughed at, but you know, I'm just not into it, man. When Disney Plus hits and when I pirate most of this stuff because I'm not going to pay for this streaming service, that'll be one that I skip. Disclaimer, I'm not actually going to pirate any of this. Wink.
That's what I was going to say, even though you said you're going to get it for The Mandalorian.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I winked. I'm actually not going to pirate anything. Wink.
Are you a pirate?
I'm definitely
a pirate.
I'm definitely gonna get it for High School Musical, the series. That's the one.
That is a reason why I wouldn't want it.
I'm gonna get.
If you're talking about High School Musical, the series, and how it looks like a flying piece of dog shit.
It really
I'm
does.
gonna get Disney Plus because I want to see all the Disney movies, like the cool ones, like Beauty and the Beast, the animated version, and 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so Noel, if you're looking forward to it, it comes out the day that Disney Plus launches, and yeah, look forward to it. I guess really lame start to Disney Plus. Hopefully, Mandalorian and High School Musical series are pretty
Even
great.
though you haven't seen the movies yet, but okay.
Yeah, Kevin, you judgmental fuck.
So now we shut up. Okay, so now we go to the week of the week of the week of November 15th. Where we got quite a few movies coming out that look pretty promising. And Jackson's going to introduce this first one.
It's called Ford versus Ferrari.
Mr. Ford, Ferrari has a message for you, sir. What did he say? He said Ford makes ugly little cars in ugly factories. And he called you fat, sir. We're gonna bury Ferrari at Le Mans.
So the great Carroll Shelby is going to build a car to beat Ferrari with a Ford.
Correct.
And how long did you tell them you needed? 200 or 300 years?
90 days.
This movie is made by the guy, James Mangold, who made Walk the Line and Logan. Really great movies. And you know, this looks like it could be a really good Oscar contender. You got like what looks like some really fun driving sequences, some really good direction. I hope the script isn't just like by the numbers basic, but you know, it looks like the actors are probably going to lift a lot of its weight in a lot of ways because you got a really great cast here. Matt Damon and John Bernthal. I hope he's not just cameoing for like 12 seconds, but you know, maybe he'll have a good part. But Christian Bale, also one of the best actors working today. Also, you know, I really hope this movie turns out well. And from what I'm hearing, it really is a really good movie. So I'm excited to see it.
I don't know what that monotone was about, but yeah, Ford versus Ferrari looks pretty great. I'm really excited for this. Matt Damon, Christian Bale, that alone has me excited.
Are you sure about that?
But then factoring in, you know, the story and things like that, I think this looks like a really riveting film. I don't know too much about this whole rivalry that went down, but it definitely does seem pretty interesting. It seems like they're going to do a lot to really got us invested in that story. It's definitely one of those trailers where every single time it plays, I got really hyped for it. And yeah, it just looks like a really entertaining film overall. I've heard that Christian Bale probably might get some Oscar love in the supporting actor category. I've heard he's like the really big standout here, which is great. It's cool to see Matt Damon make a movie where he actually gives a shit and not something like, you know, the streak that he's been on recently. So that's great to see. And yeah, I think this could be a really good film for sure. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm a little worried about, you know, the length and things like that. I don't know how that's going to be, but yeah, overall, I'm definitely very excited for this one. Also, James Mangold directing it as well. That also has me really hyped. Just seeing him doing another movie coming off the heels of Logan. I'm excited to see how that turns out. And yeah, I think this film has a lot of potential for sure. So definitely, really, really looking forward to this one. But Tony.
Why is Jackson talking like bored Chris Tucker?
That's what you were talking like.
Wow. It's almost as if I did that just so you could send a message in this chat that I could read right now.
Fuck you.
But yeah, in the world where Tony's really excited for Ford versus Ferrari, starring Christian.
Damn, I didn't know I had honest trailers as a guest on my channel.
You put Tony back on right now, mister!
Damn.
No, but yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. Like, hell yeah, James Mangold, and then you have really talented actors in here too, like Christian Bale, Matt Damon. How can I not get excited for this? And the racing sequences too also look really exhilarating, and I'm sure in the movie they'll be even more exhilarating. On top of that, you know, the cinematography looks beautiful. I think the story looks like something that could be just overall very engaging and very interesting, and I'm just excited to see what James Mangold could do with a story like this. And I know the movie is 2 hours and a half, which I think is really interesting, but I think James Mangold could definitely do a lot for that runtime though. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. Definitely one of my most anticipated for this month and the rest of the year.
You know, I'm very excited for Ford versus Ferrari. Based off a couple things. One, you know, Matt Damon, Christian Bale, fantastic actors.
Matt Damon.
But the main reason I'm excited is James Mangold. Logan has quickly become one of my favorite films ever. And I just wanted to know what he was going to do after Logan, because he wasn't going to make another Wolverine movie. So then I found out about this, and it piqued my interest. And you know, the trailers have been awesome. I've been hearing great things about it, and even though I do like the I do like the John Bernthal cameo cinematic universe, I hope he has a big role in that.
Yeah, I've heard he's barely in this one as well.
Frick.
But yeah, so if you're looking forward to Ford versus Ferrari, it does come out on November 15th. Definitely looking forward to it. But similar to November 8th, pretty much every other movie that follows, well, not every other movie, but most of the movies that follow on November 15th kind of look like shit. And Tony here is going to introduce this next just Oscar-worthy film.
Kevin Falk, such a positive person.
Yeah,
but yes,
wow.
I'm gonna go be seeing Charlie and his Angels. Charlie's Angels. Woo!
You have a new client?
Who is she?
I can't sleep at night.
I'm the lead programmer on a product that can revolutionize the power industry, but there is a possibility it can be weaponized.
Elena, we need to go.
No! You're not a waitress? No, I'm Jane. Oh. Who are you? I'm Bosley.
Oh yeah, Charlie's Angels. I can't say I'm very knowledgeable with this because I have never seen the TV show. I have never even seen the original 2 movies with, you know, Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore. I know they're both on Netflix right now, actually, so I'll finally be able to get to see those 2 for the first time pretty soon. But yeah, I haven't even seen those. But as far as this new one, which is directed by Elizabeth Banks, I mean, yeah, Charlie's Angels, okay. I mean, you know, I really like, you know, Kristen Stewart and Elizabeth Banks, Naomi Scott. You know, I'm not familiar with the other girl, the third girl in the group. I think
she's a newcomer.
Well, yeah. God, Kevin, I swear, dude, I just want to. But yeah,
wow.
But yeah, I'm not too familiar with her, but everyone else I am a pretty big fan of, though. Just the story itself, I'm just like, I'm not really too sure about it. It looks really over the top, and the humor that they're trying to attempt doesn't look like it's really landing either. It just seems very forced, in my opinion. And I actually do what Elizabeth Banks did with Pitch Perfect 2. That's the one I like the most out of the Pitch Perfect trilogy, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, unfortunately. But I did like the second one a lot, and I thought Elizabeth Banks did a really good job with the second Pitch Perfect. And I'm sure her direction will be fine with Charlie's Angels. It's just like what I'm saying. It just looks like a really forced movie and something that didn't really need to happen necessarily, but it's happening anyways. We'll see what happens, but I'm just like very when it comes to Charlie's Angels.
All right. I, on the other hand, am pretty much dreading this movie. It's not one of my least anticipated of the year or anything, but it definitely is a film that the closer we get to it, the more I am just kind of dreading it. I mean, this film just looks really obnoxious. It looks very in your face. The cast here just doesn't really seem like they're going to work that well together at all. I like Kristen Stewart. I like Naomi Scott, but this is not really doing it for me at all. I mean, when the best thing I can say about the trailer is that Patrick Stewart is well casted, even though it seems like he's barely in this movie. That's when you know this really does not look all that great. I think this looks very forceful and things like that. And yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. I don't dislike Elizabeth Banks, the director, like a lot of people do. I don't really get the hate there. I think she actually did a pretty good job with Pitch Perfect 2. But other than that, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this very much at all. Andrew.
All right, listen. I'm not looking forward to this movie. I think the trailers just look not good. They haven't been good. And, I saw them. I've been seeing them way too much. And usually that's a telltale sign that the movie's not going to be good. So there's that, and the fact that Elizabeth Banks is directing it, who I don't like as a director. I do not like Pitch Perfect 2, which is very disappointing for me. Wanted to like it, but just didn't do it. But yeah, no, this looks not good. I mean, the three leads look like they have chemistry, and they look like they're honestly going to be the best part about the movie. But this honestly just looks like honestly like a generic blockbuster to me. Probably one that I'm going to skip out on because we're getting towards the end of the year, and I just got a lot of movies to watch, and Charlie's Angels won't be one of them.
Yeah. How can I put this as nicely as possible? This movie looks like the absolute worst thing to ever come out of anyone's brain. Honestly, I see the trailers for this movie all the time in the theaters, and every time I see it, it looks so annoying.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Banks, movie 43, she had a skit in that, but everyone had a skit in that, whatever. Pitch Perfect 2 is like, I mean, sure, I remember liking it. I only saw it once in theaters. I remember thinking it was decent, but even back then I was like, yeah, Elizabeth Banks is a director. Like, it feels like any other comedy film. There's no special style to what she's doing. It doesn't feel like it's specifically made by her. It could have been made by anyone, but whatever. That was 4 years ago. Now she's doing Charlie's Angels. A lot of people do the jump from comedies to big budget action movies, but it just looks so irritating. And I know a lot of the humor in Pitch Perfect 2 is kind of relied on improv. Like, you can kind of tell there are certain moments where things will feel a little awkward, and it's because it's improv. And I'm afraid that their humor in this movie is just going to be, just ad-lib stuff. Who cares? That's comedy. Eventually we'll make it all make sense. And the last time a movie that was a comedy but based on a past franchise that did that was Ghostbusters, which shouldn't have had comedy like that, and instead made a very unlikable experience overall. I'm afraid that's what's going to happen with Charlie's Angels again, here at least. And I'm not excited. Every time I think about it, I get depressed. And whatever. Look, the McG Charlie's Angels movies are they're dumb. They're
I
really
haven't even
stupid.
seen those.
They're really dumb and stupid, but like whatever. Like that's kind of part of they're kind of guilty pleasures in the sense that they're so weirdly made and put together. But it's like whatever. I get a kick out of how stupid it is. But this one, it doesn't look like that. It looks like they're taking it very seriously, and their humor is not going to be like self-referential. Like yeah, we kind of know this. This is really stupid. It's like no, they're taking it seriously, but it looks stupid as fuck. I'm hoping for the best. I hope it can surprise me because everything they've been promoting from it just looks like a movie that I don't want to see. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, so Charlie's Angels, if you're looking forward to it, it comes on November 15th. The next film we have also coming out on November 15th does look promising overall, and that is The Good Liar.
To the future.
How much do you think she's worth?
Nearly £3 million.
You didn't take the lot?
You bloody bet I'm going to take it all. Is that your grandson?
It's too soon to be getting so close to him.
I've grown very fond of you.
Do you know who you are? You're the only person on this planet who makes me feel that I'm not alone.
Good Liar. This is one that, again, I didn't really know too much about until watching the trailer. And I actually think this does look pretty promising. I like Ian McKellen. I like Helen Mirren. I think that the premise definitely sounds like something we've seen done before, but with actors that are as talented as these two, I do think it could be really good. However, there also is the worry that this could end up just being generic Oscar bait. That definitely could end up being a thing, especially since we're in November and we have really well-known actors. I hope that's not the case because I do actually think this looks pretty interesting. I think Ian McKellen looks like he's going to do a really good job, of course. I think that the mystery itself sounds really interesting. And I hope it's what I wanted The Old Man, the Gun to be. That's kind of like what this reminds me of. Like the first scene of that film, I think is really riveting. And then the rest of it isn't really like that. But like the way that that film was done in the beginning kind of seems like what the premise of this is going to be. So I hope that's the case here. I think this looks like it could be a really good film. And I'm not hyped out of my mind or anything, but it definitely looks solid.
All right, listen. This movie, I think it looks like Oscar bait. I've seen the trailer quite a few times now, and each time it just hasn't quite grabbed my excitement or interest. Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren look like they try their hardest, but this just honestly to me just looks like a boring film. This looks like a movie that just wasn't made for me, and that it's just not going to be my type of movie. So I can't really get excited because of that.
Wow, I'm completely opposite of you. I think this looks really interesting. I saw the trailer for it initially, okay, what is this? And as I kept going, I was like, ooh, intrigue. It of course only added to my anticipation knowing, the cast obviously, but Bill Condon directing, and the writer is the same guy who wrote Mr. Holmes, which I think is a really great movie. And Bill Condon also directed that in the Beauty and the Beast remake and Dreamgirls. And he's aside from the two Twilight movies that everyone likes to bring up as a point of just undercutting whatever you just said about his filmography, I think he does a really good job with the films that he makes. So I'm really excited to see this movie. I think it could be really interesting. I don't think this is the kind of movie that's Oscar baity though. That this doesn't apply to anything they've ever nominated before, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it for any awards. But I haven't heard any awards buzz surrounding this movie either. So I don't buy the argument that it is Oscar bait. I think that's a little silly, but whatever. I think it looks really fun and really interesting, and I'm excited to see it.
And sadly, I'm on Andrew's side with it. Just doesn't look that interesting to me. Obviously, Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen look like they're going to be really good, and I do really appreciate Bill Condon as a director, but I don't know, the whole mystery behind it just really isn't as engaging to me. I'm sure the trailer wants to imply, for me at least. It's just not really hooking me that much, and I definitely hope I'm wrong when I say that. I hope when I do see this movie, I hope I am intrigued by the mystery, and I hope I'm like so sucked into the story that I don't really feel bored at all. But as far as how the trailer presents it, it's just not really doing it for me. But like I said, I'm hoping for the best out of The Good Liar.
All right, so Good Liar. We are completely divided on this one, but whatever side you're on, it does come out on November 15th. Definitely look forward to it. Now we get to a film that I've been hearing tons of buzz about, especially with film festivals, and it's finally coming out, and Andrew here is going to introduce it.
The movie that we've been hearing a lot of good buzz about is Waves.
How I do.
It's been hard, hasn't it?
Let go of a prayer for you.
How you doing with everything?
I'm good. Just a sweet word.
You know it's okay if you're not.
The table is prepared for you.
I'm trying to give you the tools to succeed in this world. It's not easy out there. Everything I do is for y'all. Everything.
I know you're under a lot of pressure right now, but I'm just getting really scared.
Now, I actually, I've heard nothing but great things about this, and I am excited, or I was excited for it, based off of word of mouth alone, and because the guy slipped in my mind.
Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
I saw Loose, and instantly I became a fan of him. I think he's fantastic in Loose. I actually got to sit in and when he did a Q&A, him and the director of the film, which I thought was pretty cool. And just now I became an instant fan of him. So I heard that he's doing another movie and that it was getting great reviews. I was, excited for it, and then I saw the trailer, and the trailer just made me, even more excited. It looks like it's a really riveting film. Looks like something that, is going to be a real, great movie, and looks like a very emotional film, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you with everything you said. I think this definitely has a lot of potential for sure. I've been excited about this one for a while, even when I remember they initially said it was going to be a musical, and I'm not sure if it still is, but the cast here is pretty stacked. Lucas Hedges, also Sterling K. Brown, just a really great cast overall. And also, I'm definitely with you, Andrew. After watching Loose, Kelvin Harrison Jr. is an actor that I am definitely going to be on the lookout for. He blew me away in that film, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do here as well. Everyone that I've heard from that has seen this movie has said it's like one of the best of the year. I definitely got the vibe from the trailer. It has a very specific feel to it that I am definitely can get behind, and I think this has tons of potential to be one of the best of the year. So I'm very, very excited for this.
I thought the trailer looked good, and I actually saw it before we did this movie preview, but I was like, hey, yeah, this looks pretty interesting, and I definitely hope it's a good movie. I was not a fan of the director's previous film, It Comes at Night. I actually thought that movie was crap, but this definitely looks like a step up from that, no question. And I definitely hope that's the case. Cinematography looks beautiful. The direction by Trey Edward Schultz also looks really breathtaking. And the performances from everyone looks really great too. And not too much really say about it because this is just a trailer I literally just watched, as I said before this, but it looks good. It looks good. So yeah.
Well, I, for one, believe that this is Oscar bait, and it looks terrible. Just kidding. It was directed by the guy who made It Comes at Night, so it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, exactly.
no, to say whatever you want about It Comes at Night, but I think even if you watch the trailer from it, like those are two different movies. It's almost kind of unfair to really bring that up. Yeah. But Waves, I saw the trailer for it. I've heard all the buzz about it, and it looks really good. I'm very excited to see it. I was kind of with Kevin. Like you're the one who told me, by the way, that this was supposed to be a musical. So I was like, ooh.
Well, yeah, because initially it was announced as one.
And then I found out it wasn't. So I was like, oh, fuck you, Kevin. But even now, after seeing that trailer, like, I'm still pumped to see it. I think it still could be a really, really good movie. It looks like the filmmaking is on point. The acting, it's got a great cast. That's going to probably be on point. And I hear it's a really emotional experience. And I'm all for those kind of films because those are the ones that strike at your heart the most and stay with you forever. So I'm very excited to see this movie.
I'm gonna find the fucking article that said it was a musical.
Okay, Kevin, no one asked you a goddamn thing.
It's out there for sure. But either way, Waves, if you're looking forward to it, it comes out on November 15th. Definitely very excited for this one for sure. Now we get to the 15th million Netflix film that we're going to be talking about that Jackson here is going to introduce.
Okay, this is a Netflix movie. It's called Claws.
Hello? Jesper Johansson, postman. Mr. Klaus.
You have a gift. You were meant for making toys. So I figured if you donate your old toys, I'll deliver them for free.
Tonight, I go with you.
There's no need for you to come with me, really. Tonight, then.
This is the Santa Claus prequel movie. That's a hand-drawn animated film coming straight to Netflix. Because if you put a hand-drawn animated film in theaters, no one's going to see it. What a disappointment! Yeah, but no one's going to go see that.
Yeah.
What a disappointment. Anyways, I saw the trailer for this and I was like, okay. It's like whatever, you know. I kind of mentioned with The King earlier. I don't really have a lot of stock when it comes to like Netflix movies unless it's like been to like several awards film festivals already that are getting tons of praise. Then I get interested. But if it's a movie, any other Netflix movie, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But you know, this looks like it could be fun. It doesn't look like a fantastic movie or anything, but the animation looks really gorgeous. I think they've got a really great cast here, and they could deliver something that could be pretty fun. So yeah, it's another Christmas movie coming out in November. Kevin's favorite.
Oh yeah, also Tony's.
But you know, maybe this will be the Grinch of this year.
Yeah.
But hopefully better, because although I like that, it was just kind of decent. Hopefully this is better than that. And I think it will be, because I think they might have a little bit more going for it talent-wise. So, yay!
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to this one. I actually, for a while, I've been hearing about this one, hearing that, you know, they were going to do like a hand-drawn animated film. And that immediately had me intrigued because, you know, that's such a rare thing you see aside from like anime these days. So the fact that we're getting a traditionally animated film that's not something anime related, I think in itself is something to be excited for. And I hope that gets people to watch it. I hope this isn't something that like turns people away because, oh, 2D animation, you know, it's not 3D. I hope people aren't like adverse to it because of that. Because I think this actually looks really good. I really do like the idea of like it being like an origin story for like, you know, like Santa Claus and things like that. I think that definitely has a lot of potential. I'll just say right now, J.K. Simmons as like Santa Claus, that's like perfect casting right there. I really can't see anyone else playing him. I think he's going to do an excellent job for sure. Also Joan Cusack, Jason Schwartzman, everyone's doing a really great job. And it's from the director of Despicable Me, actually, which I think is a really, really cute animated film, and one that I definitely really do enjoy for sure. So I think this definitely does have a lot of potential. I love the 2D animation. It's just something I really love seeing. And, you know, people do say this, but it looks a lot more magical. It's like, it's such a rarity nowadays that I think that alone has me very excited. But the story, but it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, the animation looks really great, but the story itself doesn't look that good. No, I do actually think this has a lot of potential. In fact, of the 3 Christmas movies that should be coming out in December, but they're coming out in November. But even though that's the case, I do think this has a lot of potential for sure. And I do think that out of the 3, this definitely does look like the best of the bunch. So I'm excited for this one.
There you go. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one too. I've actually been excited for this one ever since I heard about it, ever since I heard this is going to be the first traditional animated movie that Netflix is going to do and all that. So I was like, hey, you know what? That's really cool. I can't wait to see it. And then the trailer dropped, and yeah, I'm still really excited for this movie. Most certainly. Definitely one of my most anticipated animated movies for the rest of the year. And just seeing a traditional animated movie by Netflix is definitely going to be something really refreshing. And, you know, like I already said earlier, you know, I'm a sucker for a Christmas movie, so of course I'm going to be looking forward to this one. And of course, you have J.K. Simmons as Klaus. You know, as the movie pronounced it, Klaus. So yeah, I can't wait to see J.K. Simmons voice him. And you know, you also have Joan Cusack, Rashida Jones, Jason Schwartzman. You got a great voice cast here. And of course, since I brought up traditional animation, the animation looks absolutely beautiful, very detailed, very colorful. It's just a really beautiful looking world that these animators have certainly created. And I think the adventure and the characters, it looks like something that could be just really delightful, something just really delightful and adorable. And I definitely hope that's what Klaus will be. So this is definitely one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year.
I actually am not excited for this. I saw the trailer, and it honestly just didn't do anything for me. I do think the animation does look pretty cool, and you know, J.K. Simmons as Klaus looks he looks like he does a fantastic job. But no, I don't know. The story just doesn't look interesting to me, and the trailer just didn't quite do it for me. I hope I'm wrong. And it turns out to be good, but I don't know. Just something about the trailer that just didn't do it for me.
All right, so Klaus overall, if you're looking for Klaus, whatever the fuck it's called, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on. What the fuck is that noise? If you are looking forward to it, it does come out on November 15th. Definitely look forward to it. But we also, not only do we have a Netflix original coming out that day, we also have an Amazon original coming out that day that Tony here is going to introduce.
But first, Kevin, I'm afraid I'm going to have to do a report on you because of how you're behaving in this preview. But the movie I'm introducing is The Report.
After 9/11, everyone was scared. Scared it might happen again.
We need to stop attacks in the future, and we are in whatever business it takes to get the job done.
Find out exactly what they did.
One detainee, they waterboarded him 183 times.
If it works, why do you need to do it 183 times?
Maybe when the report comes out, people will finally see that.
Oh, but yeah, The Report, as Kevin said, this is going to be an Amazon original movie. You know, you have Adam Driver, you have Anna Kendrick, and I have to say that, yeah, the movie looks
Anna Kendrick is not in this movie.
Wait, who's the one I'm thinking then?
Annette Bening?
Well, let me see. I thought I saw Anna Kendrick. No, never mind. I'm thinking of a different movie that was kind of like in the political. Like,
that was The Day Shall Come.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, sorry.
Go, Tony. All right, move on. We're in November. We're not in September anymore.
Hey, Kevin. Nobody's perfect. But yes, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, my mistake. Adam Driver. But no, regardless, Corey Stoll as well. John Hamm. Yeah, the cast looks really great, and I think the movie itself looks very interesting. Scott S. Burns. I don't know if I've seen a movie by him before, but
no, you have. He's done a lot of stuff.
Okay.
He wrote The Bourne Ultimatum. He wrote Side Effects. He actually just did the screenplay for Laundromat. So he's
okay. Okay, yeah, then I'm familiar with him. Yeah, I'm looking at his IMDb right now. No, but yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm familiar with him. But yeah, it looks like he's gonna do a really good job directing this movie. And just the story itself, you know, it's not something I'm too familiar with, but I definitely think it'd make for something that's like very riveting for sure. And yeah, I can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah, so The Report, this is one that I'm definitely very excited for. Ever since it premiered at like Sundance back in January, I've been very intrigued by it. And yeah, I think this looks really interesting for sure. I mean, Adam Driver, what a hell of a year he's having between this, and then I'm hearing he's amazing in Marriage Story as well, which we're talking about next month, of course. But yeah, I think this has a lot of potential. I think it's going to do a really good job of like kind of exposing like certain like documents that like were covered up and things like that, and the stuff that like happened following the September 11 attacks. I think it's going to be very interesting for sure. The cast here, I mean, everyone's fantastic. I mean, everyone looks fantastic. Adam Driver, Annette Bening, Michael C. Hall, John Hamm. I mean, I think everyone's going to give a really strong performance here, and I think this has a lot of potential. I think this is definitely going to be a really riveting film. I've heard really great things about it, and yeah, I think it definitely does have a lot of potential. I'm excited for this one.
All right, so the report, I actually really looking forward to. I really enjoyed the trailer. Adam Driver looks like he gives an amazing performance, and it looks like a very interesting story. And I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought the trailer really did its job in trying to get me excited for this movie. And like Kevin said, the pretty good cast. With not only Adam Driver but Annette Bening, John Hamm, who I'm sure are also going to be pretty solid in the movie. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's got a really great cast. Obviously, we got so many fantastic people in it. And Scott C. Burns, he's done some stuff that I really liked. He did, unfortunately, most recently do The Laundromat, though, and that doesn't look very good for him. The fact that this isn't going to be put on streaming immediately, but eventually, like sooner than most Amazon movies, it's going to be dumped on rather quickly.
Yeah.
So that's a little. I don't know about that, but and this is also his first directing gig, so cross fingers there. But the trailer makes it look very intriguing. I'm interested to see it. This is one of those movies, though, that though I am interested in it because it is kind of like a movie that I'd be interested in exposing certain things behind closed doors that we normally wouldn't see. Those kind of movies interest me when actors have these heavy talks like this. But these are also the kind of movies that can fall flat on their face into just boring Oscar baity. But I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it. What?
Shock and awe.
Oh yeah,
That's the one I immediately think of.
But yeah, I'm hoping that because the trailer makes it look so good, I hope this movie doesn't fall into just boring. Oh, an actor did something kind of cool with their line delivery and back to boring. I hope it's not like that at all. But I honestly have a lot of faith in this. I'm hoping for a good one. Scott Z. Burns.
All right, so the report, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on November 15th. It's not going to go onto streaming until the following week, though, so definitely be on the lookout for that one. So those are all the films coming out on November 15th. And now, finally, guys, I have something to introduce that I'm looking forward to. I know, it's shocking. I finally have something that I'm actually really, really hyped for. I am so happy to introduce this film, a film that I've been looking forward to for a long time now, and that is the highly anticipated Frozen 2.
What would I do without you? You'll always have me. Has Elsa seemed weird to you?
She seems like Elsa.
There's this voice. Voice? What does that mean? Head for the cliffs!
I'm gonna blow!
I've got you!
The kingdom is not safe.
All right, so Frozen 2 overall, I mean, I am beyond excited for this film. I adore the first Frozen. I don't give a fuck that people think, oh, it's overly praised and Let It Go is overplayed. I don't care. I love Frozen. Okay? I don't care. I love the movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember really loving it, and I've always been on board with the idea of a sequel, and I am just loving what they're doing here. They're really going to expand the world, really going to give us the answer of where Elsa's powers are coming from, but also if Elsa can really fit in, because what happens when her powers are going AWire and things like that. It seems like it's going to dive deeper into the Anna and Elsa, sisterhood more, which I'm definitely into. It's going to, give us more about their parents and things like that. There's just a lot of potential for this sequel. I have to say though, the one thing that sticks out the most to me is the animation here. I mean, it is on another level. I mean, between the realistic rain in Toy Story 4 and now all of the realistic looking set pieces here, I mean, nobody is handling that better than Disney right now. And it kind of scares me. It kind of scares me just how real that really does look. But it's It's incredible. I can't wait to see the way that turns out. I mean, Olaf still looks great here. The music, I'm sure we've only heard little snippets, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. I just am really hyped out of my mind for the sequel. This looks like the definition of just a really great way to expand the world and really give us something that we didn't know we needed. I feel like this is going to be like a Toy Story 4, where like it gives us something that we didn't really know we needed, but something that really does, you know, heighten the series overall and maybe even expand upon what was already great about it. I think this is probably going to be better than the first one. I can totally see that happening. It definitely has a much more compelling story for sure. I mean, I love the story in the first one, but it is fairly simplistic overall. Here, it definitely seems like it is going to be a lot more compelling. It seems like it's going to be far more of an adventure movie, and I am definitely down with that for sure. The trailers have been epic. The story itself is fantastic, and I just can't wait to see how this turns out. Easily, it's always been my most anticipated animated film of the entire year, but it's definitely my most anticipated for the rest of the year for sure, and definitely my most anticipated of the month for absolutely. I am so incredibly hyped for this one.
All right, so Frozen 2. I do enjoy the first one quite a bit. And you know, I knew it was inevitable, like literally the second I saw the first one, that we were gonna get a second one. But you know, I've enjoyed the trailers. I think definitely a very interesting story. I agree with a lot of what Kevin said, that no, it looks like a very like we're gonna find out where else it gets her powers. Like, I think that's interesting because that's something that didn't address in the first one. Thought it would have been cool, like how did Elsa get those powers? But I guess we're gonna find out in the second one, which is cool. And it just you know, I just looks like a very good story overall. I hope it delivers and we get another classic Disney animated movie.
Man, that's a really good Joker poster back there, Kevin. I didn't notice that until now, but that's really nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I switched.
Oh, did you want me to say something else? Did you want me to say something else?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna talk about Frozen 2.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget? Yeah, this looks absolutely phenomenal. As a guy who, back when I saw it for the first time, fell in love with Frozen all the way back then, and you know has continued to really love it since today. I've been really excited to see this movie because it's back then I was like, how are they going to make a sequel to Frozen? Like, I don't know how they could do it. But today I'm like, oh, that's how. And it's like, it's actually really interesting. I like how they're expanding the world. I like how they're diving more into the past that actually is important. It's not like it was like Andrew said, it was something that wasn't addressed in the first Frozen, but you didn't need it addressed. But now that we have a sequel, we can address it. It's like, that's perfect. Obviously, they're building their world with this first. They built their world with this first film that wasn't setting up anything like a sequel. But since people loved it, like, okay, we still have more of a story to tell, which is like the best way to tell multi-film stories like this. And you know, I haven't listened to any of the songs yet because I'm not like Kevin, who is impatient and dumb as fuck. But because I'm gonna wait until the movie to actually hear the songs for the first time.
You're not wrong about that.
Because I think it's the best way to first hear them. But even if they are small snippets, but I'm obviously still excited for it. I'm so glad that they are deciding not to just, we're going to dredge up the old songs again and do them again. It's like, no, they're doing new stuff that is probably going to sound maybe even better, hopefully. And I'm really excited for that. I think this can be really emotional and touching, and I'm very excited to see Frozen number 2. Although I don't know if it'll be able to top Toy Story 4 because that also hits very personally, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah, you know, pretty much like everyone else here, I am also very excited for Frozen 2. Wasn't big on the first, but not because it's popular, to hate on it, you know, like way before that whole thing even started. I was not even a fan of the first one, sadly. So it's just a matter of me not really connecting with the story as much, and you know, when I compare it to the other movies in the Disney Renaissance, it's just not one that sticks up there with me, sadly. But with Frozen 2, it definitely looks like it's gonna step up from the first, in my opinion, as far as like hopefully having a much more engaging story, really connecting with the characters more. The animation, oh my goodness, the animation in this already looks better than the first. It's breathtaking. It is just like jaw-droppingly gorgeous. And I really like that this is going to be much more of an epic adventure feel to it, and like what everyone has already said, how we're going to find out how Elsa got her power. Sure, it's not something we need to know, but since they are making a sequel that's going to expand on the characters and the overall world, it's like, why not? And it already does look very interesting from the trailers. And I'm actually glad the trailers have done a good job of not really showcasing much of the songs. Like, I actually like that. I like that I could just go see the movie. I'm going to be like Jackson. I'm going to wait until Frozen 2 comes out to hear the songs for the first time. I know sometimes it's a little tempting to wait until the movie because, trust me, I did that with Mary Poppins Returns, at least for a couple of their songs. I listened to it before that movie, so I know it is kind of hard, but for this one, I do want to not hear a single song until I see the movie. It definitely looks like one of the sequels that could just really expand upon the original, and I absolutely can't wait for it. And I would say, honestly, it is my most anticipated anime movie for the rest of the year. This and Klaus are the two anime movies I can't wait to see for the rest of 2019.
Oh, not Spies in Disguise?
Well, yeah. You know what, Kevin? You're right. Spies in Disguise. That looks epic.
All right. Enough of that. But so if you're what the fuck? All right.
Oh, I was about to say, where'd Jackson go? Oh, there you go.
No, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Frozen 2, I'm sure you all are hyped for it. It does, of course, come out on November 22nd. Yeah, November 22nd. Definitely look forward to it. I'm sure it is going to be a really, really great sequel and probably going to be one of the best of the year for sure. And but this next movie we're introducing, Tony here was originally going to introduce, but because Andrew was so fucking adamant about introducing the king, Tony did not get to introduce this film. So Andrew's now going to introduce it.
Listen here, Kevin. I said Tony can still introduce this movie.
No, all I want to order.
That's not my problem. That's your problem.
Hey, it's okay, Andrew. I'm very happy with the next movie I'm going to introduce anyways. So no worries.
Nah, he's trying it. He's lying, Andrew. He's lying.
Okay, listen. Let me introduce this movie.
He's lying.
Which is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Mr. Rogers, I'm here to interview you.
It is so nice to meet you.
You okay?
Profiling Mr. Rogers.
Lloyd, please don't ruin my childhood.
This piece will be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero?
We are trying to give the world positive ways of dealing with their feelings.
Yeah? Like what?
There are many things you can do. You can play all the lowest keys on a piano at the same time.
This is a movie that I've been highly anticipating for a while. Just the fact that we were getting this movie and Tom Hanks was playing Mr. Rogers just seemed like perfect. And then there was that photo that was released, and I go, oh man, like Tom Hanks is gonna kill it. And then we get that trailer where he starts off, singing, and then it just looks like a really good movie, a good heartfelt movie with a fantastic performance by Tom Hanks, who hopefully gets an Oscar nom because it's been quite some time since Tom Hanks got an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to this film. Probably one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year, and I can't wait to see it.
All right, so Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I have been hyped for this for a long time now, especially after watching Won't You Be My Neighbor last year, which was just such a delightful and I think enlightening look at Mr. Rogers, and really just a look at how we all need to try to apply his philosophy to our lives as much as we can. And having a film like this come out, I think, is very important. I think it's a film that people definitely need to see. But I like that it's not just a biopic about Mr. Rogers. It's instead about how Mr. Rogers instilled that positive and just very specific attitude onto another individual, someone who has become very cynical and very just negative and things like that, like we all are. It's kind of like a good way of showing how we should apply his values there. And I mean, Tom Hanks here, I mean, talk about perfect casting. He just looks so great in here, and I will be shocked if he is not nominated for an Oscar here. I'm hearing amazing things about him already. Matthew Rhys, I think, is also going to do a really great job, and yeah, I think this has tons of potential. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is a show that I did grow up with as a kid. I've always loved it. It's I think such an important show, and it sucks that it's not shown on TV these days. But I like that we're kind of getting the Mr. Rogers resurgence. We're starting to get people to remember his legacy and things like that. And I think that's very important. I like this film is very much supporting that, and I think this is going to be something really great for sure. I like that it's not just a biopic version of the documentary we got last year. It's something much more specific, and I think it absolutely should be. It's a good way of, being a Mr. Rogers biopic, but also being its own thing. And I think that could definitely make this a very inspiring film for sure. One that I am very much excited for, and definitely one I'm most anticipated of the entire month for sure.
Very, very excited for this one. This is in my top 5 for the rest of the year, actually. I really, truly can't wait for this movie. Just the more I watch that trailer, the more I get excited for it. And one of those trailers that kind of gets you choked up the more you watch it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I watch it, if I'm not tearing up, I'm on the verge of tearing up. It's just such a beautifully done trailer. And honestly, I can't think of anyone better to play Mr. Rogers than Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks looks like he's going to do a very good job portraying this very genuine man. And of course, Won't You Be My Neighbor was such a great documentary. And I can't wait to see a full feature film about Mr. Rogers. It just looks like it'll be a very hopeful, delightful, emotional experience. I definitely hope the movie is like that. Other than just Tom Hanks, everyone else is really great here too. And yeah, I just can't wait to see the story being told. It looks like it's going to be so, so wonderful.
That's me celebrating because I'm finally going to learn stuff about Mr. Rogers, because I didn't catch the documentary last year. I'm sorry, very unfortunate. I know. I didn't get the chance to see it in theaters, and I just didn't. I still haven't seen it, but I've heard great things about it. I got the Cliff Notes version, basically, of what we got out of that documentary. But I'm very excited to see how Tom Hanks portrays Mr. Rogers in this film, because he's a fantastic actor. He's our best living actor today, and he does a really good job in the trailer already of embodying that kind of positive attitude that Mr. Rogers is famous for having, and spreading to the children that he wanted to teach and inspire. So I'm very excited, because also this is directed by the woman who made Can You Ever Forgive Me, which was a very good movie. Oh, shut the fuck up. But also the people are saying that it's more than just about she actually does something different to it, and I'm not sure exactly what that means, because I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but I'm just very excited to see how this is so different than everything else. So honestly, I'm very excited to see this movie. I hope that this movie hits me right in the feels, because Tom Hanks is known to do that many a times. Literally this year, Toy Story 4, he got me again. What a bitch.
Oh, man. All right, so Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. If you are looking forward to it, which I'm sure most of you are, it does come out on November 22nd. Going to be a crazy week for sure. You got Frozen 2 and Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, but definitely going to be great. And then there's this other movie coming out that should have come out in September, but for some reason they just the people who made the movie in their infinite wisdom decided to move it to a very crowded date because it had too much competition, even though it has more competition now. And Jackson here is going to introduce it.
The movie is called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely it.
So Sonic the Hedgehog, I haven't really played the games all that much, but I don't think this movie looks very good. Ben Schwartz, maybe he'll do a good job playing Sonic, and maybe Jim Carrey will do a good Eggman, but it just looks really stupid and kind of awful.
Jackson.
So that's all I have to say about it.
Jackson, Jackson.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know it's very, very shocking, but Sonic the Hedgehog was moved. It's now coming out in 2020. So you're talking about 21 Bridges.
Excuse me?
We're referring to a film
When did
called
this
21
happen?
Bridges that was supposed to come out in September.
No, what happened to Sonic?
Sonic got delayed, man. They had to redesign him. People,
he's coming out on Valentine's Day weekend now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they delayed it. Yeah, it was delayed.
I was so excited to see this movie that I had no hope for.
Yeah, it was delayed. I know, it's shocking.
Well, I guess this is 21 Bridges.
If you do wrong, be afraid.
2 shooters. They have training.
For he does not bear the sword in vain. He carries out wrath on the wrongful.
I will find them.
21 Bridges looks pretty good.
Wow.
Not as good as Sonic the Hedgehog, but 21 Bridges I think maybe could be really thrilling and really engaging. It's got a great cast, and you got the Russo brothers behind it. They're trying to make it seem like they directed the film by putting up the visionary filmmakers behind War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Now here comes a movie that has nothing to do with any of that. It's not a comic book movie. It's a crime drama thriller. Yeah. Like, that's kind of dumb. But the first trailer I was kind of like, okay, this could be neat. The second trailer, I'm a little bit more into the film now. Like as far as my anticipation for it, I'm a little bit more into seeing it and wondering how it could turn out. I think it could be really good. Not as good as Sonic, though. If I could switch release dates of Valentine's Day 2020 and this, I'd switch it. So 21 Bridges is 2020, and Sonic is now.
All right. So what Jackson is saying is that he absolutely needs to be in the February movie preview next year so he can talk about Sonic. That needs to happen. I'll definitely take a note of that. But 21 Bridges. It looks decent, definitely. It's a film that I have a little less confidence in, especially now that it's been moved all the way to November. That's not usually a good sign. Also, seeing from the producers of Endgame and Infinity War, that's also not a good sign when they're crediting the producers but not the director. I think it has potential for sure, but considering that it's been moved as much as it has, and considering that there's very little promotion for this film, I really don't know how this is going to be. I'm not dreading it or anything. I still do think it has potential, but I've kind of soured on it just based on, how little marketing there's been, how little promotion there's been, and also the fact that it's been moved a bunch of times. It's kind of hard to stay optimistic about this film because of that. I think Chadwick Boseman's going to do a really great job. Obviously, J.K. Simmons, Sienna Miller, really good cast overall. I think it definitely does have potential. I'm just kind of worried because it's, been moved a bunch of times. Maybe this will be like the Robin Hood of this week. I could very well see that happening because that movie got moved a bunch as well. So who knows? I'm glad this is finally. At least I hope it finally comes out. For all I know, we could do this movie preview and it gets moved again because that could very well happen. That's happened before.
Like with Kidnap.
That literally happened with fucking Freaks in August. They got moved to September, and I had to talk about it twice. So it could happen again. But if it is coming out on this day, it's stupid. Honestly, it's stupid. I don't know who made this decision. Oh yeah. September, the end of September is a very, that second week in July is very, very crowded for sure, even though there was nothing big coming out. But yeah, we'll take it off there. We'll put in the end of September when there's also nothing big coming out. Let's put it in one of the most crowded weeks of the entire fucking year. A great move. But aside from that, movie looks decent. Whatever.
I'm the one who made that decision.
Oh yeah, great decision. Not stupid. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, talking about this movie's release date, I just find it really ironic how the original release date was July 12th, where nothing huge came out that weekend. And then they pushed it to September 27th, where Abominable came out. Nothing too huge. They could have stuck with that too. But no, they now push it to a release date where it's going to be crowded as fuck. Yeah, it makes total sense.
But you see, Tony, we can't have it come out the same month as Chapter 2, and we can't have it come out the week before Joker. It's going to have massive competition, okay?
Yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. So, yeah.
Whispering.
So yeah, that whole thing is really, really annoying. But aside from that, I'm still really looking forward to this movie. I still think it looks genuinely interesting. I don't know why they have to rely on the Russo brothers and make them think they're the directors. That's the other annoying thing about the marketing. But yeah, I still have a lot of hope in this film. I'm hoping, despite the massive pushes, I hope it could really deliver. You have Chadwick Boseman here. You have J.K. Simmons. You have Sienna Miller, Keith David. The list goes on and on. Oh yeah, Stephen James is in here too. And yeah, I hope it's just a very interesting movie. And yeah, let's hope this one actually comes out. Hopefully, it doesn't get pushed yet again. Hopefully, it actually just comes out in November.
Tony, breaking news! 21 Bridges has been delayed to March of next year. Let's go.
Shit!
Wow, so funny, Kevin.
They should really delay it to 2021.
Honestly, yeah.
And then release it February 1st.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah, be the New Mutants. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, I'm still very hopeful, and yeah, I hope it delivers.
All right, listen, I agree with pretty much what all you guys have said. I mean, the cast looks like they do a fine job, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Even though everyone else here said it looked good to decent.
Listen, just shut up, Kevin.
You're not agreeing with us.
I'm not agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Tony and Jackson, but not
you.
you.
They said it looks good.
I don't believe you. Why you gotta lie like that?
Yeah, Kevin, why are you lying?
Why you always lying?
What the fuck? Just talk about the fucking movie.
Shut up, Kevin. Let me talk. This is my time, not yours. You already talked about 21 Bridges.
I know.
Listen, but I'm just not excited for this one. This looks generic as fuck. I mean, Chadwick Boseman looks like he does pretty solid job, but yeah, I think just the reason the Russo brothers they're attached their name to it is because Endgame just came out, so this is how they think they're gonna make their money. And I don't know. I just the trailers. They're not doing anything for me, and it just looks really generic, to be honest.
All right, so 21 Bridges, if you are going to see this on November 22nd, and if you know it comes out, which you probably honestly just found out it's coming out through this video, I guess check it out. It's definitely coming out then. Now, we're going to wait for Tony to introduce this next movie. We go to the last week of November. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I am very, very excited for. But Tony here is going to introduce, he didn't get to introduce Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, but he does get to introduce his film I know he's absolutely dreading.
All right, Kevin, but first let me just pull my knife out.
Yeah! I'm innocent.
But yes, the movie I'm introducing, ladies and gentlemen, is Knives Out.
We did it, Reddit. Oh, gross. No, Kevin, no, you ruined it. Oh, God damn it.
Are you baiting me, detective?
Attempting to be thorough so we can figure out the manner of death.
You mean if someone killed him? You think one of us, one of his family, killed him?
Mr. Blanc, I just buried my father who committed suicide. Why are you here?
I suspect foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.
So, Knives Out is directed by Rian Johnson, who's done Looper, Brick, and the beloved The Last Jedi. And this movie I am very excited for. It's actually my most anticipated for the rest of the year, which I know when I did the anticipated on my channel, the guys were pretty shocked about that. But honestly, when I think about what is my most anticipated rest of the year, because this was one of those years where initially I had no idea what my number one was, but when I made the list, I was like, hey, you know what? Knives Out is that movie. And yeah, I honestly think this could be a really engaging whodunit type of story. And it looks like it's going to be just something very creative for something like this. And not to mention that you have one of the craziest casts, I think, honestly, of the entire year. Like, seriously, like, it's so big. I can't even name off everyone at once. But, to name off some, Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Catherine Langford, and it goes on and on from there. And yeah, everyone looks like they're going to have a total blast with this movie. I love the tone. I love the style. The whole whodunit mystery just looks like something I'm going to find myself very engrossed in, and just something that's going to be really entertaining and thrilling. And I definitely hope Rian Johnson will deliver on that. I know it's been getting some really good reviews at festivals, which I think is really good right there. Hopefully I will feel the same way as those people. But yeah, Knives Out, this is a movie that I just cannot wait for. I'm very pumped. Bring your knives out, people, because hell yeah. It's gonna be
I don't know if you should bring knives necessarily to a movie theater, but
oh no, do not do that, please.
I don't know if we should encourage that, Tony,
No.
especially after a certain movie's controversy that was really dumb.
Oh yeah, Ken, don't forget we live in a society.
Shut the fuck up. All right. But yeah, in the case of Knives Out, yeah, I'm pretty hyped for this film. I mean, the second I heard that Rian Johnson had another film coming out, I was very excited because I love The Last Jedi. Yes, you heard it. I love The Last Jedi.
Ew, get out of here.
Yes, I know I need to be canceled now because of that, but I do really love that movie. I think Rian Johnson had a very unique vision. I think he has a very unique vision in general, and I'm very excited to see what he does with this film. I mean, the cast here is incredibly stacked between Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Toni Collette, Christopher Plummer, Michael Shannon. I mean, just an incredible cast overall. Definitely one of the most stacked of the entire year for sure. But then you just factor in the whole idea of like this, cat and this whole like, whodunit. Those are the kind of films that I just really adore watching. I think we can get some really great, unless it's like Murder on the Orient Express or something where it's really boring. Most of the time, those films end up winning me over for sure. Just like Bad Times at El Royale last year, I think this could definitely be a really great film. I'm hearing tons of praise about it, coming out of festivals and things like that. Hearing it's like one of the funniest movies of the year, hearing it's one of the most well-written films of the year, just hearing all kinds of praise, and that just gets me more and more hyped for it. I think this film looks incredibly I think the film looks incredibly witty. I think it looks incredibly well written. And just in general, I think this looks like a really compelling mystery that I think is going to be something really great for sure. It's definitely one of the most anticipated of the entire year. It's one of those films I've been honestly anticipating more and more the more I think about it. And definitely is one that I just cannot wait for. There's going to be advanced screenings as well. I'm definitely going to try to go to those because I am just really pumped for this movie. And yeah, don't bring knives to the theater, but definitely get your knives out for
Boo, Kevin, boo.
That was
Boo. Pretend throwing this knife at you. Boo.
Andrew, go ahead.
Boo. All right, now it's my turn to talk about Knives Out. I am a fan of Rian Johnson's previous work. I love Looper and enjoyed The Last Jedi. And the reason I got excited for this initially was the stacked cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Tony said, it's saying how stacked this cast is.
Oh yeah.
Lots of like really talented people, and and then the trailers came out, and it's just one of those trailers. I've seen them a lot. Like I know, like before I talked about what?
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, Charlie's Angels, or like Terminator Dark Fate, where like I see the trailer pretty much every single time I go to the theater. And like I hate it because it's like I see it all the time and they're bad trailers. But like this trailer, I feel like I also see quite a bit when I'm at the movies, and I'd never mind because it's such a good trailer. I think it's one of the best trailers of the year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I rewatched the trailer before this just because I wanted to see it again because that's how great the trailer is, and the fact that it is getting the buzz that it is outside of with the film festivals is making me even more excited. The only thing that I'm kind of disappointed in is that it's at the end of the month, so I gotta wait longer than I want to watch this movie.
That's a lot of films that we're about to talk about.
Yeah. But, I'm really excited for this. I love a good whodunit. I've just always been a fan of those. And, I have full confidence that Rian Johnson is going to do a great job.
So I'm going to leave my profile picture up for this one for obvious reasons. I am extremely excited for this movie. I'm a big sucker for murder mystery movies and whodunit. So when I found out that Rian Johnson, of all people, was going to be making one with a cast this stacked, I mean, my hype levels just went up tremendously, and hearing all the buzz for it was perfect. I'm a big fan of Rian Johnson too as a creator. Looper, I think, is an excellent movie, one of my favorites ever. And The Last Jedi, though I don't love that movie, do I hate it? No, I actually still do like that movie, despite it having some issues. I think a lot of the hate it gets is really over the top, and I think a lot of the stuff that Rian Johnson was trying to go with that movie is kind of overlooked because of that. And I think he's a really talented filmmaker and writer. So him tackling a whodunit like this, I think it's just perfect for him. And I'm so excited to see what this cast is able to deliver with his script. I'm really excited to be hopefully shocked and thrilled and put in so much suspense that I piss my pants while watching the movie.
Yes. And hopefully it's not as well, it's already not, but hopefully it's not as underappreciated as another film you love from
Which
last
one
year.
is that?
Bad Times at Royale, because it's basically
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, well no, it's a little different. But yeah, sure. I hope it gets more love than that.
Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I love that movie a lot. So
yeah.
Fuck you. I've literally seen it like 5 times.
I know.
Which is more than anyone apparently.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Okay, shut up. I didn't ask you about anything. I didn't ask you about anything.
I didn't finish.
I didn't ask you about anything.
All right. Well, Knives Out, if you're looking forward to it, it does come on the 27th. There are going to be screenings on the 23rd as well. Very, very excited for this one. Sticking with films, I'm excited for. I have yet another film that I'm excited for that I get to introduce. It's quite a miracle for sure. It's not the film I hope to introduce, but it is one that I am very, very hyped for sure. And that, of course, is Queen and Slim.
What if God wanted me to die and I messed up his plan?
I don't think that's what he wanted.
Hey, is this y'all? We have to go now. It's all over the news.
I support what y'all doing.
It was self-defense.
Power to the people.
187, 2 young suspects.
Yeah, we didn't know Black Bonnie and Clyde.
All right, so Queen and Slim overall, I have been very excited for this one pretty much ever since I heard about it. And it definitely looks like it is going to be something really great for sure. I mean, just hearing that Daniel Kaluuya is going to be in another film. I mean, for the past 2 years, he's given some of the best performances of the entire year. I think that is definitely going to be the case with this film. And I just cannot wait to see the way this film is done. I think there's a lot of very interesting, like, social commentary and things like that on, like, you know, race relations, all that kind of stuff. Yes, that definitely is a big part of it, but the story as well just sounds really engrossing. The idea that, you know, we have this situation where, you know, this guy's like unjustly pulled over, but instead of him being the victim, he actually turns it on its head and just fucking flat out murders the guy. And now these two have to go on the run. What does this mean? What are the repercussions for them doing that? I think there is a lot of potential there for sure. I'm not familiar with the main actress, obviously, because this is her, I believe, feature film debut, but she also looks like she's going to give an amazing performance here. It's cool to see India Moore from Pose doing a feature film. I think she's going to be really great. I mean, Bokeem Woodbine, Chloe Sevigny. I mean, just a really great cast overall. And I think the premise of this just sounds really engrossing. It seems like something that I definitely am going to really get into. It definitely seems like it has a lot of Oscar potential for sure. I'm already hearing people say, you know, like Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith will definitely be in there Oscar-wise. And I can definitely see that happening. Again, it's another one of those films where, like, the more I think about it, the more hyped I really do become. I think it has tons of potential and definitely one I'm most anticipated of the entire month. Cannot wait for this one.
All right. You know, Queen and Slim, I became excited for this. I actually didn't know this was a thing until I saw, like, the trailers for it a few months ago. And I instantly became excited for it. It looks like looks like combination between like I could see some elements of Bonnie and Clyde in here.
Yeah.
And some elements of damn, the movie slipped in my mind.
I never heard that one before.
Shut up! I'm trying to think. Oh, Thelma and Louise. It definitely
there you go.
has. I could definitely see this as like this type of movie, although where they're on the run, and I enjoyed both those movies. This look like it's going to be a big Oscar contender this year, especially with Daniel Kaluuya, where I'm a big fan of his. Ever since Get Out, and I think he was masterfully overlooked last year with Widows.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, he's definitely looks like he's gonna give a great performance, and I can't wait for this movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for the first time. I think I left a Rabbit or Cast viewing just to watch it.
No, we watched it actually. That's what happened.
No, I remember watching it before. I remember watching it before you, Dick.
No,
Anyways,
we watched it on.
No, I watched it before you. Anyways, yeah, I'm really excited for it. It looks like a really genius kind of premise. I think it looks really thrilling and engaging, but also it's a movie that will probably have a lot to say, which is the best kind of movies that are both thrilling and engaging, but also they have more to say. It's not just a very surface level movie, which I'm a big fan of, obviously. And I think the cast, Daniel Kaluuya, Jesus Christ, what an actor he's been recently. Like, Jesus, man, I'm so happy that he's gotten so much work, because he is literally shaping up to be a great rising actor that I hope to see more of. And Jodie Turner-Smith already seems like she's going to knock it out of the park here. I think their chemistry is probably going to be really great, and I'm really excited to see this. It's been on my most anticipated for a while now, and I'm just really itching to finally see it at some point.
All right. So I've been pretty positive on the last 7, 8 movies on here. So the streak has been very high with this.
Oh, no.
But unfortunately, it stops here.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hunting. Oh, wrong movie. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I like the premise of it, no doubt, and I do like how it turns the tables as far as this whole racism goes. Like, I do like that, but it just seems like after that certain moment happens in the movie, which I hope is not the case, it just doesn't seem like something that's going to really grab me after that moment happens. Obviously Daniel Kaluuya looks great, and everyone else looks like they're really great too, but I just don't feel too involved with the story. It doesn't look like it's going to really engage me all that much, and the trailers just haven't doing it for me. I'll admit the second trailer is an improvement over the first trailer, because the first trailer I was kind of like, what the hell is this? The second trailer is definitely a better edited trailer for me, but even then it's not really doing it for me. I hope the movie surprises me, but I guess I'm in the minority where I say I just don't really care about it.
All right. Well, if you are looking forward to Queen and Slim, it does come out on November 27th. Definitely look forward to it. Now, as much as I am hyped for Queen and Slim, though, that is not the movie what the fuck are you doing?
I'm laughing at the fact that you're just freaking out.
It's massively distracting.
What's distracting?
Yeah. Kevin, what are you talking about, man? Just do your thing. Come
on. Okay. So, oh my god, I literally can't think. Okay, where the fuck did Andrew go?
Just talk about your movie.
Okay, he's back. All right. So, even though, yes, I am hyped to talk about Queen and Slim, I am definitely looking forward to it. That is not the movie that I wish I was introducing, because this next film is quite a special one for sure. And Andrew here is unfortunately going to introduce it, even though I wish I was introducing it. Andrew here is going to introduce it.
That movie that Kevin is so much looking forward to, and he wishes he was introducing, is a movie I'm very much looking forward to.
It's
actually a movie I've actually seen this movie before many times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that movie is Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed.
No.
Here we go.
Wow, that was rude.
That's not what it is.
Oh, you're talking about a movie that's coming out in theaters or on Netflix. Even though Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed is on Netflix, I think. But that being a movie, the real movie is The Irishman.
But now I'm a man.
I want you to meet my cousin, Russell Buffalino.
How are you? Hi, nice to meet you.
It was like the army. You followed orders.
You did the right thing. You got rewarded.
A friend of ours is having a little trouble. Friend at the top.
Back then, there was nobody in this country who didn't know who Jimmy Hoffa was.
Get the gun out of his hand! You always charge a guy with a gun. With a knife, you run away. So you charge with a gun, with a knife, you run.
You know, this, like, literally the second that it was announced that Martin Scorsese was coming out with another film, I was instantly excited. I mean, he's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
But Andrew, he hates Marvel, so I gotta hate on him for that.
You just had to fucking say, Kevin. Great job.
Yeah, I gotta hate on him because I gotta hate one of the biggest film historians of all time because he doesn't like a franchise that he or the type of movies he doesn't make. So it makes sense why he doesn't like them.
Oh, shut up and let me talk.
Boy, let him talk, bitch.
Got him. But yeah, no, literally, all it had to be was that Martin Scorsese was making another movie. And I was instantly excited. This was in my top, two or three of the whole year. And, you know, the fact that it's, you know, with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci and Al Pacino. And it's, you know, kind of like how he's going back to movies, you know, that like his roots with, you know, Casino and Mean Streets and Goodfellas, you know, those type of movies. Those are the ones that I definitely think are, you know, some of his best. And I just love gangster films. I've always loved like gangster films and mafia films and like crime films really. And you know, just, you know, it being about what it is and just the cast and, you know, it being a Martin Scorsese film gets me excited. And now the fact that it's 3 hours and 31 minutes, I don't know, that gets me even more excited. And the fact that it's going to be that long. And I can't wait for it.
I'm gonna try to ignore what Tony is doing right now. And
what is he doing? I want to see.
I'm stretching right now, bitch.
Yeah, we literally can't even see it, and Kevin's like, "I'm just gonna act like you all can see me. I'm aware you cannot."
He's like, "Tony's stretching. We
all
can't
right,
have you."
I'm very excited to talk about this movie. Well, let me go ahead. All right, so The Irishman overall, I mean, I don't think I need to really introduce. I don't really think I need to you know, build this up at all. I mean, this is easily my most anticipated for the rest of the year. Martin Scorsese is my favorite director of all time. I actually, for the past like month and a half, have been binging every single film that he's done, and he definitely has a very impressive body of work for sure. He is a very versatile director in that way, and but the one thing that he definitely does best, and I think is very much his strong suit, are these kind of films, are these mafia gangster-esque films. And I love that The Irishman is essentially a return to form for him. That's basically what this is going to be. It's him going back to his roots, you know, getting those actors that he's worked with all those years ago and getting to work with them one last time. And that's very much what this seems like. But it seems like it's going to be far more than that. You know, all the reviews I'm hearing are saying that yes, not Godzilla, Goodfellas and Casino comparisons are there for sure. But that it really is doing something fundamentally different than that, which gets me very excited. But just seeing Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci and finally him working with Al Pacino, I can't believe it's taken him this long, but him finally getting to work with him has me extremely excited. I can't wait to see how this film really does turn out. I think this has tons of potential behind it, especially the fact that it's over 3 hours long. Holy shit. That is definitely, there's a lot that you can definitely do in that time for sure. Personally, for me, I think the de-aging actually does look really good here. I don't really see the complaints at all. I think that it looks pretty great for the most part. It honestly is not very noticeable at all. And I do think that it is going to be really good here. Robert De Niro, I mean, I'm sure he's going to give an excellent performance. But between the story, which I'm sure is going to be very engrossing and things like that, I'm also hearing is probably one of the saddest films that Scorsese has ever done, which I'm definitely not prepared for. that definitely does have me very interested. But the other big part of it is that this is actually going to be the first Scorsese film I see in theaters. I know it's shocking, but I actually have never seen a Martin Scorsese film in theaters before. This will definitely be my first one, and I do not think he's going to disappoint. It's rare. I know, you can always have that skepticism, but I really don't think Scorsese is going to disappoint, especially considering most of his films, in my humble opinion, are pretty much perfect. I do not think he is going to disappoint here. I have tons. I really have a lot of hope for this one. I think this is going to be something really great. I know it's on Netflix, and that can get people really worried, but I'm hearing tons and tons of praise for it. I am just, every time I see that trailer, I just get more and more excited for it, and I'm just so unbelievably excited for this film. I really can't wait to see how this turns out overall, because I think this easily is going to be one of the best of the entire year, and easily my most anticipated as well.
Yeah, very excited for this movie for sure. And it's like we've all been saying, this is what Martin Scorsese is really known for doing the more gangster kind of movies. And it's really cool that after all this time. Wait, I'm hearing an echo. That's why.
I also heard an echo. What the fuck was that?
Wait, hold on.
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's not your end. It's not on your end. It's not on your end.
Okay.
If it was on your end, I've been able to hear it. It's not on your end.
Okay. But yeah, as I was trying to say, it's cool to see him return to the gangster mob genre, and, getting to reunite with working with Robert De Niro, because he hasn't worked with him in a very long time, as well as Joe Pesci, getting to come out of retirement to do this movie, and then him finally working with Al Pacino, which you would think that would have been the case a long time ago, but no, this is his first time working with Al Pacino, and I think that's awesome personally. So yeah, I think these guys also look great. Ray Romano's also in here too. Not sure how big his role will be, but very close to Ray Romano in a Martin Scorsese movie. Cinematography, it looks absolutely gorgeous. That's really to be expected when it comes to Scorsese. A lot of his movies just have such really rich cinematography to them, and Irishman definitely looks no different. And of course, Martin Scorsese looks like he's just going to really bring us into this world. And very interesting how it's 3 hours and 30 minutes long. Like, not even 3 hours. It is 30 minutes over that. And I'm definitely very interested to see how much he's going to put into it. I hope that runtime really flies by and that not a single minute is wasted when it comes to that one. Very cool that he's directing a Netflix movie. I know people doubt Netflix because of them not always put out the best stuff, but it's like I don't think that should always be the case. Like if Netflix has stuff like this one coming out, I truly do think it should be something to be excited for and not be doubtful about, honestly. But yeah, definitely in my top 10 for the rest of the year. Really can't wait to see it. And yeah, go Irishman.
You know what? Now that you said that, I'm going to say something real quick. I know God. I doubt Netflix a lot. You guys know at least once every single month I talk about how I hate the decisions that Netflix is making. I hate that they make certain films. This is the kind of thing I think they absolutely should take stock in. I think they absolutely should be trying to make more of. And because of that, I really don't think that this is going to be disappointing. I really think this could be the Roma of this year. What the fuck, Jackson?
Oh, are you done now?
Yes.
Sorry, I had to take a nap real quick. Yeah, The Irishman looks like it could be one of this year's best, maybe the best Netflix film to come out this year. That's not saying a whole lot. There's not much to compete with, but it really could maybe. Despite like maybe Marriage Story, but this also could compete with that. I'm hearing a lot of great things about it because it was at the awards, which is the sign of always a great Netflix film, is if it goes to film festivals. The cast is obviously fantastic. Joe Pesci is a living legend. So the fact that he's back is just muy bueno. Al Pacino is obviously probably going to deliver another very entertaining, highly engaging performance as per usual. He is a Kino man, and Robert De Niro, of course, he's going to be awesome. Of course, he's Robert De Niro. I think they got a lot of the de-aging really down as in the latest trailer. Like, it looks really, really good. The cinematography looks really fantastic, and the fact that I'm hearing that the editing is really great, which is what makes the 3-hour runtime really go by quickly to the point where you can kind of barely tell, which is always good. The fact that I'm hearing that it's like Scorsese's movies in a lot of ways, but it's also it's a funnier film that you'd expect, but it's also a sadder film too. And like Ray Romano obviously has a really funny joke near the end of it, him and De Niro, which, shows good sign of what people are saying. I'm just really excited to see it. I think it could be a really great win for Netflix to have a film like this by Scorsese. But I guess I pointed out a screenshot on Twitter looked really fake. One single screenshot of a D.H. De Niro looked really fake. So I guess I hate this movie now.
Fuck off.
Okay,
calm down. Calm down. So, if you are excited for The Irishman, it does come out on Netflix on the 27th, but it is going to be in a bunch of theaters throughout the entire month of November, which definitely I think you should probably see it in that. I mean, I'm not saying don't see it on Netflix, obviously, but try to see it in theaters if you can, because it's great that, Scorsese is putting it out in theaters and all that kind of stuff. So definitely try to do that. So that comes out, and now we have one more movie to
do it.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before.
Well, that's that.
Oh my God!
At least this time we're wrapping this up. This time we're wrapping this up. But we're going to get to the final movie here that we are going to be discussing. There's one more movie that we are going to talk about that Jackson here is going to introduce.
I'm going to try to respect Kevin's dad, okay? The movie is called Dark Waters.
Well, that means I got to keep that bit in.
It's a small matter for a family friend. Help a guy who needs it.
The farmer or you? That's chemicals, I'm telling you.
I'm seeing documents I don't understand. They're hiding something. That chemical. What if you drank it? Drank it? It's like saying, what if I swallowed a tire? What if whatever's killing those cows is in the drinking water?
At DuPont. Better living through chemistry. It's our DNA.
You need to tell me what in the hell's going on.
DuPont is knowingly poisoning 70,000 local residents for the last 40 years.
Dark Waters. It looks very interesting. It's got a great cast. Mark Ruffalo is obviously leading this film, and he's a fantastic actor. So I really think he's gonna nail it here. I'm reading, like I mentioned earlier with the report, I'm really into movies about exposing the behind the scenes, like kind of dirty dealings of certain things. So this movie really does look right up my alley. I think it's going to be really interesting and really intriguing. And maybe Mark Ruffalo could get an award stock for it. I don't know if the movie will entirely. Like, we'll have to wait and see. It's a very crowded award season, but I maybe Mark Ruffalo could get in there for sure. I will have to wait and see, but I think it looks really promising. Is that okay, Kevin's dad?
All right, so Dark Waters, overall, I didn't know what this was until I realized that this was actually supposed to be, I believe, a Netflix movie. I thought I heard something about it, but now it is coming to theaters, and I think it looks pretty great, honestly. I wasn't really expecting all that much from it, but yeah, I'm definitely with Jackson. I think this looks like a really well done, sort of political thriller-esque in that way, where it's, this man, he's trying to expose this company for like all the wrongdoings and things like that. Mark Ruffalo looks like he's going to give an amazing performance here. I think he could definitely potentially get some sort of awards love. Again, it's very crowded for sure, so it's very hard to tell, but I could definitely foresee that happening. And I think he's going to do really well. Anne Hathaway, I'm sure, is also going to do a really great job here. Really, the entire cast here, I think, looks really great. And just in general, I think this looks like a highly riveting and very interesting look at this, corrupt sort of company and all this stuff they've been doing. I don't know too much about the. I've definitely heard the name, but I don't know too much about the company overall. So I think this film can definitely give me an interesting look at all the, like I said, corrupt shit that they were involved in and things like that. I think that they definitely have the potential. DuPont. There we go. I've heard the name DuPont, but I don't know too much about said company. So I think this film is going to dive into it in a way that hopefully gets us to really understand, what they were going through, what they were doing, all that kind of stuff. And I think in general, it just has a lot of potential. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this trailer came out of nowhere for me, to be honest. Like, I was just scrolling through, what was it, Facebook? Yeah, it was Facebook. I was just scrolling through Facebook. I see this trailer for Dark Waters drops, and I'm like, wait, Dark Waters, don't know anything about this. But then I watched the trailer, and I was honestly surprised with how hooked I was. Like it quickly became one of my most anticipated movies after watching that trailer. So yeah, if I were to, do the anticipated video after that trailer drop, you definitely would have seen it somewhere in my honorable mentions at least. But yeah, I think this definitely looks like something very, very engrossing. I think Mark Ruffalo as this defense attorney, his role looks very engaging. And aside from him looking like he's going to give honestly one of the best performances of his career, you also have Tim Robbins here. You also have Anne Hathaway here. You also have Bill Pullman here, Victor Garber. There's a lot of really talented people in this movie, and I really, really hope it delivers. It looks really well directed. Cinematography looks really gorgeous too. I love how the movie looks, and just like what everyone says, this just looks like something that's going to be just really highly engrossing, and I definitely hope that's the case once I do see this movie. So yeah, I honestly can't wait for Dark Waters.
Andrew.
All right. I saw the first trailer for Dark Waters today, and I agree with Tony. I'm surprised with how much, I was hooked by it. It looks like a very riveting film. Like, Mark Ruffalo looks fantastic, potentially an Oscar contender. It seems like it's a very interesting story. Definitely one that, I want to know more about, and this is definitely a movie that I'm very excited for, and I can't wait to see.
All right. So, let me fix it. All right. So Dark Waters, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on November 29th. Very excited for it, and very good way to close out this highly crowded month. And that'll do it for this one, guys. Those are all the movies coming out in November. I know there was a lot to go through. I don't know why Jackson is dancing, but I feel like we all should join him so this isn't as awkward. But yeah, those are all the movies coming out. I'm going to just go through everyone one more time. So first of all, he was a duck, but he did reveal his identity, so I don't think he can use that code name anymore. But Andrew, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, there's something I want to say.
Oh, no.
That means you quit. Now.
Yeah.
You turn it fucking off. Okay. You go.
And that's enough of that. We just got to bring that. We just got to reference that every single year, apparently.
Yes, we do.
We do, man. It's legendary.
Every single year. This isn't going to stop, is it?
All I got to say is keep on keeping on. Holler if you hear me.
So funny. But also really annoying and kept making fun of me throughout this entire video. Jackson, what do you want to say?
I just want to say it's always fun to do these movie previews, except for that one time in July. And even though sometimes they can get really awkward whenever your dad comes in, I mean, I still have a really good time.
You do realize that by saying that, I have to now I have to keep in the footage of my dad walking in.
Yeah, we got him. But yeah, it was really great being here. I love talking to you guys. It was an overcrowded movie preview, but for an overcrowded month, so it almost kind of makes sense. Thank you for enduring this length and my constant shirt changes. If you want to see more of me, there's my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Jackson Fulcher, and that's it. Bye.
All right, and also with me here, the last time a very special moment happened, and now he's here again. Tony, what do you want to say?
Oh man, that's it.
So I want to say thank you very much, Kevin. I had such a fun time here. Thank you for I love you. I love you so much. Oh my god, and a pizza.
Oh man.
But yeah, but thank you for bringing me on, man. This was a blast, and everyone, make sure you go Walmart and get these slippers because they're the best.
Yeah. So, with that said, guys, that's it for this movie preview, of course. In moving forward, this is going to be the last regular movie preview for this year. The December movie preview is going to be structured basically the same way it was last year, where like it's just going to be me hosting, but all these guys are going to come in as guests for like selective movies they want to talk about. Love the way it turned out last year. Definitely, I thought it was really well organized and things like that. So definitely going to do the same thing for months. So definitely look forward to that. But either way, guys, that's it for this video. Comment down below. Let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to the most this November. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that.
Okay, bye.
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn way. Go back to bed. What the fuck is wrong with you?